with people on the internet and the news.
Wait.
Transition.
Nah, it's not been recording.
You're joking.
Well, it has been recording, but it's not been recording your audio. Should we try it from the top?
Oh, God. He can only apologise, however, he will not.
Let's apologise before we even start.
So
do we need to do the intro again?
I'll do it.
I think we need to do an intro again.
Hello and welcome to Shobocast episode 26. We don't have Paul this week, but we do have Harry, who's a
you're speeding through it this
long-term loyal listener.
I thought Cam was doing the intro.
Nah, it's too slow.
No, that's in a different reality.
This is a new streamlined version of the podcast. This week, Doctor Who. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've really.
I've got it down to a
lot more
T.
efficient, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
what happens when we don't have Paul here.
Well, that was just a wall of noise then. I don't know what. I couldn't even decipher what any of you were saying.
And that is exactly what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
Yes, a podcast allegedly about Doctor Who, as we always say. But this week for real though, for realsies this time, it is about Doctor Who, about classic Doctor Who, and we're going to talk about our top 5.
Yeah.
I say top 5, but that is my short list right there.
5.
That's my top 17 that you're looking at in the corner of my webcam. So
I've written down.
I can see Inferno there.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Spoilers.
Stop looking.
Okay,
you can see claws of Axos now.
Yeah,
I've written down 5 on this McDonald's. I've forgotten the word for it.
Napkin.
Receipt.
Napkin.
Receipt?
No, this napkin
napkin
from McDonald's. So I've really thought about it a lot, and didn't forget.
You definitely didn't do it 10 minutes ago.
No, it would have been 20 minutes ago at this point because
because we failed recording.
Because of the lost 10 minutes of a recording.
There's so many lost. We could have a whole episode worth of lost recording. Yeah.
They're like Doctor Who. We've got lost material.
Yeah, it's gonna get reanimated in like 50 years' time. Reconstructions.
And everyone who attempts to listen to it kills themselves.
Yeah. Jesus. Starting off morbid. Yeah, so...
Shobocast, we provide the push.
I forgot about that one. Paul really likes that one. He actually made a graphic with that slogan on and said it as like the channel art and the Twitter cover and the Instagram. He put it everywhere and I just went, don't do this. Yeah, so we weren't going to be doing this. We were going to be covering Meglos, but then obviously Paul was busy. So Harry stepped in and Harry has definitely seen... more than all of us combined of Classic Who. I think that's...
Probably.
Did you say you've seen all of it at least once?
At least twice.
Fucking hell.
Oh shit,
That's twice as much as me.
Yeah.
I started from when I was like 3 and just became a bit obsessed.
I'm sure that's how all of us got here as well.
I started when I was 3, but I only finished one story by the time I was about 9.
I actually started a year before I was born.
Oh, you just
So,
got to
Did your
one
mum
up
play Doctor Who in the
Let's go
womb?
one up you, yeah.
You know when they have like the headphones over the stomach, seeing if they can
Yeah.
listen to music and
She was
stuff. They
just
just
playing
had
you, like,
Big
yeah.
Finish and
It's the sweet sounds of Twin Dilemma.
Zagreus. Yeah, so
Cry of the gastropods.
should we
Oh,
throw
I should
some
warn-
news out there? Do you want to take the
Yeah,
plunge into
I
the
should
news
warn
pool,
you.
or whatever we call it now?
I should warn you, my list is just Twin Dilemma 5 times.
Shut up.
Just so you know.
No.
Have
No,
you even
Twin
seen
Dilemma,
Twin Dilemma?
Time Lapse,
I've not.
Time
No,
Flight.
Time Lash is fine.
Don't. Yeah, no, I watched Time Lapse the other day. It's actually
It's
decent.
not that bad. People are too harsh.
Time
on it.
Flight, however, is shite.
Is that the one with the plane?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've not seen that one yet.
and Anthony Ainley being like this guy called Bilal or something.
Oh no.
I
That
can't remember.
sounds sensitive.
Terrible.
not Bill Al.
Not Bill Al.
Not Bill.
No, it's just two men, Bill and Al, but no one auditioned, so they had to merge the
Both
parts.
of them Anthony Ainley.
That's just reminded me. This is completely random, but you know, Dimensions in Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware
Sacred
of it.
product of Dimensions in Time. So Ian McKellen was supposed to be in that, and then he said no. I can't see why not. And
For good reason.
yeah, they nicknamed the character Syrian, as in Syrian. So that character is called Syrian because he was almost played by Ian McKellen, and that is true story.
I know about that as well. Like,
Oh.
there's rumour it was meant to be the Master instead of the Rani, and Anthony Ainley just went, I was never asked.
Hmm.
And it's like,
The whole thing was originally meant to be another thing, though.
It was supposed to
Lost
be-
in the Dark Dimension.
The Dark Dimension, and then it was
Yeah.
something Holocaust, which was
Oh.
it had like the word Holocaust in the name, and it was about the Seventh Doctor and the Brigadier fighting off Cybermen trying to get into a church because a ship has crash landed outside this church. Destination Holocaust. That's what it was called, and they were like, maybe don't use that for children in
Glad
need.
that,
That is
Yeah.
that type.
horrific.
a Children in Need
Destination Holocaust.
skit introduced on Noel's house party.
Yeah, apparently they really cut it down as well because Noel said, I'm not having that shit on my TV show. So that's why they cut it down so much. But
Yeah.
that's trivia for another episode.
Dimensions.
That's for when we actually talk about Dimensions in Time, when the BBC
Oh,
finally
God.
released a high-definition version of it.
You don't want a high definition version of that.
No. Well,
Do it,
High
you
def-
You're
coward!
telling me you want to see a crisper, cleaner image of those two heads spinning around.
If you
No.
actually get a
Yeah.
crisper image of it, your eyes melt. That's why they've not released it. It's a public health risk.
What's funny is like the full episode has been on YouTube for years now, and it's the only
Yeah.
Doctor Who thing they haven't taken down. They've just left that
because
where
they
it is.
don't care about it.
They don't care, and they can't re-release it because it's a charity thing, and also no one would buy it.
Yeah, but they can release it as a
People
DVD
will buy
extra,
it.
like, Time Crash.
It is Doctor Who's like holiday special. That's the equivalent, isn't it?
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't put it on any of the Blu-ray box set specials though, and they
Mm.
would have put it on them if they were ever going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
Man,
make me so happy, Dan, if you bring me.
man,
Where's the
I'm
news-
just imagining
where's
there's
the
a
news
massive
thing?
amount of news.
man, you can't even begin to think about how much news there's going to be. You're not ready for
Excited.
this news. Put your
I'm ready.
seatbelts on. Get your helmets on.
Are we
your
are we
news
leaving
helmets
space
on.
for the theme tune, or are we just?
You can put it in wherever you want. There he's got his. But don't cut this out because this is gold.
Okay. It'll be playing right now then.
The news. Just calm down because this is some good news. All right.
I'm gonna get like an audience cheer, like a riot sound, like.
Are you ready for news number one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
News the first. Jodie Whittaker was on a green screen on a harness. Calm down. Now calm
Oh,
down.
I forgot about that.
I know you're excited. I know. Please stop. Please stop. Calm down.
They're at your window,
Jesus
Dan.
Christ. Look, this news. This news is coming in through the window. Oh, this bit has outstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always does.
Cameron, did you send this picture in? Because I couldn't find where it came from.
I kept seeing it on Twitter.
Shall I just? What I'll do is I'll go through the news chat now, and I'll just throw everything back into this
Yeah.
one so that Harry knows what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
please.
photo that got leaked, and I just kept seeing it on Twitter and saw none of us stuck it on. But it's from filming of Series 13. It's Jodie Whittaker on a green screen. And the reason why a lot of people got excited about it is along one of the sides there's a orangey red light, which they've previously used for regeneration scenes. And so with the rumours of her possibly leaving after this series, this added more fuel to their fire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It looks. It does look like. Oh, it's not like
Regeneration-y.
It looks like regeneration lighting, I guess, but it could be anything.
But what if it was? Why is she hovering above the ground?
Because every regeneration has gone bigger and better than the last.
Oh, so now
So
she
of course
flies.
she's
That would be cool.
flying when regenerating.
She flies now.
That would be really.
Yeah.
If she levitated into the air to regenerate, like Scarlet Witch or something.
Ooh.
In one.
Like
That would be
Jesus.
No, that would be if Zack Snyder was making Doctor Who.
Are we forgetting that bit in Voyage of the Damned where he's lifted up by the angels? We're going to pretend like the
yeah.
10th Doctor was never made out to look like Jesus.
Yeah,
Well, with-
that angered so many religious people.
Yeah,
With
on
the
Christmas
Thomas
Day
Child now,
as
she
well.
is.
The timing of it.
This doesn't look like a leaked photo, though. This looks like a
That's
professional.
what I was
taken.
thinking. It looks like a behind, like you'd get it in a booklet about how they made it. It looks like it's been deliberately
Yeah.
taken, and it's like they're not even trying to
Yeah,
be secretive about
it's
it.
just
It's right. It's within eye view of Jodie Whittaker herself. It's the classic, like, a bit of a set and a bit of like a viewfinder where you see what's coming through the
Yeah.
camera.
yeah.
That's a classic, like, behind the scenes.
It's just
photo.
weird that it would come out now with people speculating it's a regeneration scene. So
Hmm.
it's why it's less likely it is. But then if it is, someone's getting fired.
Yeah. So many people
No,
must have
the-
been fired
maybe-
by now.
Of the three
Maybe
crew
she-
members here, which one is getting fired?
All of them.
My money is on the man facing the opposite way.
Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker is getting fired.
Well, we spoke about it before
Yeah.
in here, but Harry, what are you hoping Whittaker-wise? Are you hoping the rumours are true, or do you think another few series?
Oh, I think it's a good time for her to go. To be
Do you
honest,
think?
yeah, I think
This is a good job Paul isn't here. Let me tell you.
It's-
That's
It's-
because you're a misogynist, Harry.
no. See, I love the idea of like a female doctor, but it's just she doesn't. It's both her and Chibnall just don't get their roles that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
Like, Chibnall
So
cannot
what
write
you're
for
saying
shit.
is that you're a misogynist, yeah.
No, because I want Joe Martin to take over. I want Joe
know.
Martin.
Just even a mini series with her.
I'm hearing all
That would
these
be
words.
so
I'm hearing
sick.
all these words, and what I'm actually hearing is, I'm Harry. I'm a Sodge.
I'm a
I'm
sog.
not Sodge.
I'm a Sodge. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'm a soggy
it's
nist.
me, Harry the Sodge. That's
I
all
guess-
I'm hearing.
I guess that's just it. Like, even though I want Joe Martin to be the next Doctor, that's what I'm thinking they're doing. They're setting up it that Joe Martin is actually going to be the next Doctor, but we won't think she is because they've introduced her in the series.
Saying it's gonna be a surprise, like
See,
Yeah, and
I
and
would
the reason
like that,
why-
but it. Oh, go on.
the reason why she doesn't recognize Jodie is because she does recognize her but can't tell her that she's the one who comes next. Otherwise, it would alter how she acts in the
But the
series.
Doctor's never done that before, though.
No, but that would be a cool thing that they do. I mean, we've
just
never
let
had
them
the
try
Timeless
something
Trial,
new, Dan.
and we've never had.
No, I want
No,
the same
Doctor,
thing over
don't
and over
know.
again.
Now, it's almost as if you've been watching the '60s run non-stop. I just want Vicky to stand in a corner for an hour and sleep with a necklace on. That's all I want from Doctor Who.
One thing for the green screen thing could be, the frog, the mirror universe thing.
Oh,
I think the
yeah.
Frog is the next Doctor. The Frog is the 14th Doctor.
Yeah, well, no, that's where she is. She could be in that like white.
Oh,
little
she's in a
dimension
frog.
thing.
The
Yeah,
green
that's
screen
what
is
I'm
just part of the frog. It's that big. You can only see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The Frog's also like consumed an entire TV set.
Yeah.
So that's what the camera.
Actually, the photo from someone's phone is how the
We're in the
episode
frog.
will be shot. That is just one of the shots from the episode.
It's a found footage
Point
episode.
of view episode. Yeah.
Sleep no more.
Yeah. Sleep no more.
But
Top
better.
Yeah.
Ribbit no
What
more.
other
Can't be
news
better.
do we have
Sleep
then?
no more.
Oh man, we have the return of a very special segment of the news segment.
Time Lord
section.
Victorious.
Oh, we've got a bit of Time Lord Victorious.
And we
news.
actually got Time Lord
Oh,
Victorious
we've
news in
got Time Lord
2021.
Victorious news.
Jesus Christ, when will it end?
Oh,
Never.
and the heat death of the universe.
I'm
That's
so
when the
glad
final
that
Time Lord
for nearly a
Victorious-
year now, I've had this thing keep coming up in my social media and all over like friends groups on Facebook and stuff like that of this thing that I'm just not interested in. And then I started a podcast about Doctor Who, and consistently every week Dan would tell me about this thing that I still don't care about. And now, when I just think I'm free of it for a few episodes, he just brings it back up.
Bam! It's back.
So it better be a
That,
good
I mean,
one.
it's not the immersive theatre experience thing. That's still not happened. So
No,
we're still
it's
waiting
not
for
opened
that.
yet.
And we're all gonna go. We're all gonna go together.
And we're all
Yeah.
gonna hold hands and breathe
All
on each
hold
other.
hands. And
We'll
lick
hold
each other.
hands, but 2 meters apart.
Yep.
My mate made some props for that.
Really?
Oh.
You know that thing in the machine in the Blink that the Doctor has?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he had to remake that for them,
The what?
and it's got Weeping Angel.
The thing that goes ding
There's-
on the
it
stuff.
Oh, the thing that goes ding.
In Blink, not
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
Zygon. Yeah, that thing.
Oh, that's cool.
He had to remake that for bloody hell. It's like talking to the fucking TV.
Welcome to the show.
Also, you've got proper mics. How does my audio sound?
Fine.
Probably is about as good as mine.
Oh, fair enough.
Discord compresses the crap out of everything. I don't know how people record podcasts over this, honestly.
Also, our internet is shocking. So
It's a
I
surprise.
imagine I sound like shit.
You
That's
sound
just what my voice
quite
sounds like.
But yes,
No,
more
that's
Time Lord
cool.
Victorious news.
Oh, Time Lord Victorious news. Do you remember that vinyl that was coming out at Asda?
Yes,
That
it,
two-sided vinyl. Guess what? It's not coming out at Asda anymore. The original release was November 2020, and we've finally got an actual release date. It's April this year, coming out on Amazon and Big Finish, and not Asda. Fuck you, Asda. That's the whole news story.
It's coming out everywhere but Asda.
But Asda.
They've been blacklisted. They're not allowed.
It's a yes. It is a nationwide ban on Echoes of Extinction vinyls at Asda.
How will we
they-
cope?
Where else am I going to get my Doctor Who vinyls from?
I should do Lidl exclusives instead.
Yeah, or
Lidl is better
Aldi
than Asda.
exclusives. I'd love to buy some. You know the B&M exclusive figures. I'd love some Aldi exclusive.
Yeah,
500
fuck yeah.
because they'd be even worse, wouldn't they?
yeah, they'd be
Hmm.
cheaper.
well, no, because if it's a middle aisle thing, you get some really good stuff in them.
You get like
They would
wellies.
disintegrate on contact.
It's the
You
only
don't get
place
good
you can
big
buy like wellies and a chair and headphones in one place.
I was
The
in
3-pack.
a little once, and there was a guy with a
Once.
welder, a
You've been once.
bandsaw,
Yeah,
a sander,
he goes to
and 2
Waitrose.
garden gazebos
What the fuck?
in one
That is.
shopping order.
That's an
Having a little
interesting.
festival.
I wonder what he was up to.
Have you listened to any of or read any of it, Harry? Because I know those
That
two
Time
fucks
Lord
have.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck no. No, no chance.
did you have the same reaction as me?
It
As like, oh, that's a massive
does
wall
not
of
go.
content that I just can't start anywhere with.
Yeah.
Like-
Also, it just doesn't interest me because it's like,
It's one of those things where it's
Stop.
like, well, it happened, but it actually never happened. It's like, okay, so
yeah,
Huh.
and it
Yeah.
just doesn't. It's like the whole what's it called? The thing with Capaldi and the Dalek, the mutant or whatever. That whole story arc. Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense and probably won't go anywhere.
forgot
I will
about
say I've enjoyed the Big Finish and the books, but the comic books and the Doctor Who magazine insert I did not enjoy at all, which is a shame because one of those is the Ninth Doctor's bit.
Yeah, it's just a shame because they could release so much good merchandise, and then they're just releasing this.
Yeah,
You see,
It's
see
a
those,
nice
see those
idea,
cool Zappy
but-
shirts?
Yeah,
I think the only thing I read the first issue of the Tennant comic, and I watched episode 1 of Daleks! Exclamation.
Oh, I forgot about Dalek's exclamation
Alex,
mark.
exclamation mark. Did you finish that, Harry?
Did you start it, Harry?
Mark.
Yes, Dalek's exclamation.
The
Is that one of
YouTube
the
show
videos?
that looks like a
Yeah.
cutscene from a PS2 video game.
Yeah.
With Zoella's brother in it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, don't.
I have to admit, I'm more of a classic fan. I watch the new stuff, but I'm not really a fan
Well,
of
it
like
was.
them.
It was very reminiscent of Classic Who in that it was quite slow and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Got him!
Any other news?
Oh, there's one
I've-
more bit of news.
I've
oh,
got news.
oh,
He's
shit!
brought his own news.
I'm taking your job.
He can just
He's
replace
taking
all
a
of us at
pack
this point.
He's taking a little Tupperware box out of his bag. He's brought his own news.
Yeah, he's just.
You know, Big Chief, the 1/6 scale 12-inch light figures.
Yeah, Big Chief is what I call Dan in the bedroom. Uh,
Got him! Got him! Because
Yeah,
my
no, I know.
extraordinarily long schlong.
what?
What?
They're re-releasing the Tom Baker. Well, they're releasing like a load of their figures, which like now go for like 700 quid on
Oh, they're
eBay.
mad, aren't they?
They're re-releasing them through Zavi, as well as a new regenerated clothing range.
Wow.
That's my news.
Doctor.
Yeah.
The
And
That
you
was
can
nice.
use an Ace Creeper code here because we don't have
Yeah.
affiliate link, so might as well use his.
yeah.
Once.
The Ninth Doctor one always looked really good. I remember seeing quite a lot of that. Big Chief. I'm gonna search him up because I forgot how many
I'm
we
kind
did.
of terrified by that Tom Baker face. There's something manic about it.
Or the one in my room.
The one in your room, the Tom Baker you've trapped and frozen in plasticine.
Yeah.
Right, you've got to answer seriously. Have you put him in a rude pose? Yes or no?
The Tom Baker here.
Yeah.
No, he's just.
Oh,
he's
come on.
just
Right,
like that.
new question. When will you put him in a rude pose? And then the question after that.
Probably
what
after-
rude pose.
After this video.
Wonderful.
After this video, he shall be.
That'll be
having
the
a nice
thumbnail.
private time.
These 12th Doctor Sonic screwdrivers are the wrong colour.
Which ones?
I'm on the website and there's.
Is it a green one?
Yeah, but the light up colours are right, but you see where it's blue on the handle? It's black here on the website.
Strange.
What are they up to at Big Chief? What are they,
Like, I know-
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mute myself, but it's got two.
What?
Yeah, no. So those. Hang on.
Yeah, so
I
it's
was
got green and blue
so
colours,
confused
but-
why he was muting himself.
Oh, you. Why did you? Are you muted and now my audio's gone to
Oh,
pieces
no.
again?
What have you
Fuck's
done?
sake.
He's just set a bomb.
Alright, I'm gonna have to leave and rejoin.
Oh God, Cameron,
How was I to know?
you've ruined
missed
it.
all this
You've
stuff.
ruined it
No,
all,
it's
Cameron.
still fucked.
Oh god.
Try again.
Cameron, what the fuck have you done?
I blame Paul.
The Night Doctor Ravager. There's more covers for it. For the gatefold cover. I don't actually know what they are.
It seems to be individual covers for
Yeah, for the
episodes of
episodes.
Volume 1 of his story.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming it is. I didn't know how to describe it in words, so I just started screaming.
It appears to be lots of explosions and the TARDIS, with Christopher Eccleston promo photo from 2005.
What, food fight? Is this the one we're looking at?
There's a food fight, a cataclysm, and a sphere of freedom. All have individual covers now.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, look, the week that Paul's not here is the week we're discussing Big Finish covers.
Yeah, no, that's poetic. The one time. Wow. They look nice.
They do look nice.
Anyway,
That's about all I have to say about them.
is the news tank empty?
Yeah, we've drained it. We've drained the news tank.
No,
We've
there's
picked it
also
up.
the
There's a
we're
bit,
shaking
there's a
it
bit
out.
on my leg.
Oh, you can wipe that off if you want.
there's the
I'll give
TARDIS
you a-
Diaries, which are the new books for younger fans.
I'll give you a.
Oh, they're not listening to
napkin
this, don't worry.
read it.
But- Yeah.
What actually
They've
are those
been-
books, Cameron? Why don't you do my job for a few seconds?
They're called Paper Moon and Ghost Town, and that's as much as I've managed to find out. They're for younger people, though, so they probably won't appeal to us and we'd find them boring.
We're younger people.
He says in a
We're
room
still
surrounded
cool.
by Lego.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know-
Unpleasant.
Do you know, I'm just thinking what would Paul say if he were here now. Do you know what he'd say, guys? Do you know what he'd say? He'd say, ah.
Just. It's
He'd
true.
probably be saying something about
probably
the
listening.
skagheads who live near him.
Paul is listening
Yeah,
to this
he'll
right
be
now.
complaining about someone he knows personally.
He'll be listening to this right now and he'll be going, ah, lad.
Oh, lad,
You know.
Liverpool.
Ugh.
Ugh.
It'll go silent for like 5 minutes, and then just come up with something random.
Liverpool. Oh, lad.
The Whirl is not in Liverpool. That
was
was
Indian.
Liverpudlian.
What
I'm
actually was that?
had an accent.
Is that some form of English interpretation of Irish?
Yeah. I thought maybe a bit more Scottish, but yeah, let's go with that.
I feel like that's a hate crime.
Speaking of hate crime,
Celtic.
classic Doctor Who. What are your top 5? I had to segue about.
Yeah, so much in a similar way. A few months ago, we did. It was a while ago, actually, wasn't it? Look at those DVDs.
That was episode
Yeah,
11.
it
our
was
top
five
November-ish?
times.
Our top 5 modern.
We did a top 5. Yeah, modern.
It was very
And
fun.
we also
There were lots of
did
thrills and
top
occasional
5
spills.
Big Finish.
And we
Yes.
did Big Finish recommendations. Yeah.
So this week we do top 5 classic. Something I've seen a lot of and have a lot of things to
You've
choose
seen more than
from.
anyone else on this planet, haven't you, Dan?
Yeah, I've actually seen it more times than anyone who has actually starred in it. I've actually watched so much classic Who that I can. I'm starting. They're like streaming the lost episodes from my mind. So I'm forming them.
You've seen that much, and you know it so well that they actually, when they say they've recovered lost footage, it's actually just predicted from you,
From your
based on
Yeah,
you know how
it's just
stories
chaos
goes.
theory,
Yeah,
really.
you just know how they tick. Dan's not seen a lot of Classic Who.
I
I think Cameron's
I've
seen a bit
seen-
more, and then I've seen
yeah.
quite
Cameron's
a
seen
bit
all of
more.
it, hasn't it?
I've seen everything on BritBox and
Oh.
a few of the DVDs like Reign of Terror and stuff.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know you'd seen that much.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I'm down
Yeah.
there, Dan, then. I've seen... I've probably seen about 50 stories altogether, but that barely covers it. Considering there's like over 500 now. Altogether in
Yeah.
Modern Who as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, you've seen probably all the modern Who though.
Yeah. Actually, no, there's one episode I
Yeah.
haven't seen, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, I haven't seen the Monk trilogy. The 3 from Series 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Watch the first one, but don't bother with the second 2.
It's fine.
Trust me.
I tried watching the first one on broadcast, got so bored I left the room, and then I just didn't bother until I heard that people were saying, yeah, it's fine, it didn't happen, they reset it. It's like, okay, I'll jump back in.
Extremis is decent, but Live the Land is shit.
Oh, there we go.
You heard it here first.
Now if we ever cover those episodes and you're not on, we can just take that bit of audio. Throw it into that
Yeah,
episode.
that will be my contribution.
Harry's
I'll be-
here.
What we're gonna
just
do
coming,
while-
he's dropping in.
Well, we've got Harry here, we're going to get him to review every single episode in less than 5 seconds. And
Yeah, we're
then
gonna go
we've
one by
got
one.
archive of all of them, and then every time we review something, we can just throw that out there. We're gonna go round like we did last time. Then we can go Harry, Cameron, Dan, then me, I guess.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
I think someone else first because you guys are more up to knowledge with your system.
We're the experts.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
I'm merely learning.
All right,
He's but an apprentice.
I don't know. Should I
Yeah.
go? I'll go first then.
You go first, Dan.
Let me just
Go
quickly.
first, and then you have to choose something.
I'm holding 17 DVDs here, so I've got very.
David,
quick control.
David, is it?
Okay.
And Dan's number 5 pick is. I can't see it. Trial is that all of Trial of a Time Lord?
Trial of a Time
That
Lord.
feels like cheating.
It's a kind of cheating. If I have to pick one specifically, I'm gonna probably say Terror of the Vervoids. Don't ask me why. I just think it's fun. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode without the twist. Trial of a Time Lord is.
Is
Bonkers.
that not the episode Chris Chibnall?
That's the one that he
Had
slammed
to
on
go
telly in front of
bit
Pip
routine.
and
Yeah.
Jane Baker. Yeah. A bit too much routine Doctor Who, which is true.
Yes.
It's pretty crap, but I like it.
Did that affect your opinion of that episode at all?
No.
Does it
Okay,
affect
so
your
it's not like
opinion of?
you didn't like it. I like it more now.
Does it
Um,
affect your opinion of the Chipmaster General?
I just love it when the Doctor commits genocide. Okay, I really like that.
It's a lot of fun.
It shows. It's
Yeah.
just I like
He
bad
just-
boys, you know.
Doesn't give a shit about the Vervoids when he takes his
Yeah,
sweet
no,
time
I
with the
threw
Daleks.
Trial of a Time Lord out here because it's more. I should have saved it till after, but I just wanted to throw it out there, get it out of the way. If you haven't watched it and you're after a concise kind of block of Doctor Who, if you don't want to watch a full season or whatever, it's perfect. I'm gonna try and not like spoil loads of stuff, but the Sixth Doctor is on trial for meddling with time and whatnot.
He's done too much time.
Yeah, and
he's gonna do time for time.
Yeah, he's gonna do time for doing time, not in that way. And so he's on this Gallifreyan ship. The opening shot is gorgeous, and that's just a fact. It's one of the best looking things the show has ever done in that era. He's nodding. He agrees. It is very pretty.
It's nice.
Yeah, you've got the Valiard, which is I won't go into, but it's a really cool idea, and I wish that they'd done something with it in the modern era, especially after Matt Smith's run. They could have done something there. Yeah, it's really hard to sum it up in less than sort of 5 minutes, like we're going to try and do with these, but just give it a watch, you bellends. Give it a watch now with your eyes.
Whoa! He's got
It's like a courtroom drama.
It's like a what?
Courtroom drama.
Yeah. In fact, the whole thing is taking place in a courtroom, and everything you see is just flashbacks to the past, and then in Vervoids it's to the future, which is where it really just fucks with your head, because it's basically like the Doctor's on trial for something he's not done yet, but he's going to do when he gets out of the courtroom. So yeah, there's some interesting time travel shenanigans there.
Brian Blessed doesn't it? Or is that one of the other?
Yeah, no, Brian Blessed's in it.
Mind Warp.
He's in Mind Warp. It's the worst. The way they handle Perry is really bad. She
just disappears.
Yeah.
They give her a terrifying death, and then they basically last minute.
And then she marries Brian.
Yeah, which is probably worse than death. Let's agree. And yeah, so there's some.
You are my bride.
Wow, that was very good. Well, that was really good. Yeah, I try over
Paul's
time.
impressions, but better.
It's great. Yeah, we'll have to
change, my dear.
See, that sounded just like Paul doing Colin Baker, so I don't know. This is just wizardry. Let me just quickly have a look. Yeah, the last part's pretty cool as well. It gets a bit up its own arse. But if you want, like I said, a block of Doctor Who, it doesn't take that long to watch. I think it's the most watched season for me, including the modern era, in terms of like this is your thing. And the fact that it was, if you watch, have a little look into what was going on behind the scenes at the time. It just makes it even more special, because it was like they're on such a budget, and then it's like they had a year's hiatus. Doctor in Distress happened, I think. Did Doctor in Distress happen just after this, or was it just before? Before. Because
Colin Baker did it, and he was pissed off after he got kicked out.
That was it. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, and it came out a week after the last episode of Series 22 had aired. So it was like most people watching it were probably thinking, well, Doctor Who was just on, so it's not that we're not missing much. It's just an odd part of the show's history, and it's a bloody romp. So there you go. That's like one of my recommendations. It's not my top 5. I've just thrown it out there to kick us off.
Hang on. Yes, it is your top 5. This is number 5.
Yeah, no, I just threw it out there. Yeah. I said it's not my top 5. I'm just throwing it out there. Dan?
No, the last part, Ultimate Foe. The reason why that part is a bit like weird is because the writer who started writing it died after the first episode was written.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so
I can't remember. Was it? But anyway, they had to get in another writer to finish the second part, but because he was trying to change it, they got rid of him and then got Pip and Jane Baker to do it. So it went through 3 different writers.
Oh,
the second part.
Yeah, it was Robert Holmes. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah, it was his last.
He had done loads. He did the. Did he do the 2 Doctors as well? Was that like the last one he did before that?
I don't know, but he did some Tom Bakers, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Even John Pertwee.
Probably the best. Him and Douglas Adams probably the best like writers on the show. Then again, I've not seen a great deal of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Robert Holmes for Two Doctors.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that out. Just throw some out there if you want. That maybe didn't quite make it to your top 5. Just ones you want to just recommend.
Mark of the Ronnie.
That's
It's got-
that's a really fun one. That.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's sort of based around the area I live. It's like probably closer to where Harry is if he said he lives in Durham, because like mining communities and everything. And it's got George Stevenson in, the guy who made the drains,
Hmm.
and it's got
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ronnie and the Master in trying to do evilness, turning people into trees.
And the Rani knees the master in the balls.
Yes.
I remember that, and the that
Yeah,
that's pretty
cliffhanger
fun.
with Colin on the going down the
Like
hill.
riding down
Yes.
the
Nearly goes down a well. Oh, good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a really fun story, but not
And the
top 5.
dinosaur at
Because-
the end as well. What a great ending! Like the fact that he just traps them there with this creature. Oh,
Yes.
good stuff.
But
Forgot about
who's doing their 5 pick now then? Is it me, Harry, or
Wait, Carnival of Monsters.
huh?
Oh,
That's
it's
the
Harry.
one. Well, no, I was just giving one that wasn't in my top 5, but it's honorable
Okay.
mention.
Carnival of Monsters. I've not seen this one.
Monsters. It's like
It's a Pertwee one,
It's-
isn't it?
it's like a proper sort of quest adventure, and it's like really well put together. It's nothing like changed, but it's done very well. It's like classic Doctor Who formula, done to its best.
And it gave us the
Um,
Jurassics as well.
Yeah, it did give us the Drashigs, and it's
Oh yes, that guy's suit as well that he's got, the ringmaster or whatever he is.
yeah, with the colourful things. It's also
Yes.
got Harry Sullivan actor in before he played Harry Sullivan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got Ian Marter in as this like ship captain. But yeah, it's a very good story to watch. Yeah, he also blows stuff up with the sonic screwdriver. So.
That's like the main use of the Sonic to 3 is just to blow stuff up, detonate.
Yeah.
things.
And he's got a fun way of he just gives it a little screw, and a little
Yeah.
thing, and he holds it out like
And then
that.
he's like,
It just goes. Yeah, so I'm
Scared the
gonna.
cat.
I've actually got that on DVD, I think. So I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna watch that soon. Make a note.
it's a very good one.
Yes.
Dan,
Oh no!
are there any
So is this?
that you enjoy but didn't make it to your top 5?
I think a lot of the stuff we've done on this show, I love. I don't love. Curse of Peladon is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Reign of Terror, but I didn't quite make it on the list. There's probably another one. Planet of the Giants is kind of stupid but quite fun.
Yes.
I do enjoy about that episode how basically every insect they come across is dead. Oh, like obviously there's a story reason for that, but I feel the main reason is it would have been too expensive to make a realistic looking live insect where they just. So they spend the whole episode going, "Nah, an insect. Oh, it's not moving because it's dead." And then they look in the camera, and they do that for like 3 parts.
The plug hole
Yeah.
bit.
I don't know.
It is 3 parts,
Oh, well,
but it was originally 4,
Oh, what's it?
and then they cut it with the lack of plot. So it had 4 episodes, and then they just cut out bits from episode 3 and 4 and put them together. But then when they did the DVD release, Ian Levine got the original actors in for Ian and Susan,
Mhm.
and then he got voice impressionists to do Barbara and the First Doctor, and recorded the missing bits from episodes 3 and 4 and put them in so that you could either watch it as just the 3 parts as originally aired or the 4 parts as originally scripted.
It's interesting.
Mm.
I
It's not
enjoy
worth
the,
it.
No, I don't think it
No.
would be.
It's
I
just
enjoy
there is
the,
lack of
like-
plot.
It's like an episode of Doctor Who, and then every 5 or 10 minutes or so, it cuts to this somewhat lackluster, like corporate thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a weird scientist being shot by his boss or something, if I remember
It's
correctly.
something about pesticides or we've got a new chemical.
Yeah.
You won't even believe what this chemical does.
It's the reason that they shrink as well is because the TARDIS door was open during flight as well. Which I'm sure we've
pressed the wrong button.
Like that.
I'm sure we've seen them do that in the modern Who, so why haven't they shrunk down to the size of ants yet?
They did
because
flatline
they
the
didn't want to.
TARDIS with.
Yeah, but I want to see tiny people running around because we have the ability now with like
We have the
they could do an
technology.
Ant-Man style thing, but Doctor Who, like, weird.
Budget
Oh,
Yeah,
that they
there
haven't got.
We spent more time talking about Planet of the Giants than I thought we would.
Yeah. Yeah, Harry, do you want to give us your number 5 then?
oh wait.
Oh,
Before we go into the top 5, I'm gonna deliberately make my top 5 not ones that we've covered on the podcast, so that I'm not repeating
Oh.
myself. Just because I'm just that cool and that kind.
because you're an edgy boy.
So I've got 3 here that were in my short 17 DVDs long list.
You only own 17 DVDs.
No, I've got about 40 of these.
That was a little
Earthshock.
reference, blink.
Earthshock.
for you.
Is that number 5?
No. Earthshock.
It's just you're just showing.
I'm
us
just
a
making the
DVD you have.
statement. Earthshock. Earthshock's quite fun. Okay. And we've covered it. But it's just I had to mention it.
Earthshock.
Greatest show in the galaxy we did not too long ago. That's a bloody great one. Really. Shut up, Dan. You're nodding. As long as Harry agrees with me, then I don't care. Okay.
Max.
He's the guest.
Max is a great character.
Yeah. Thank you.
Werewolf girl.
It's a great story. So yeah, we covered that, and then this
And the
would
gods of Ragnarok.
this one would probably be
Oh,
my
I love
number
it.
one. But we have talked about it, and I brought it up on the podcast so many times that it felt
I
stupid
think
to bring
I
it up
might
again.
know what that one is.
It's the 5 Doctors. Of course it is. This thing
Fair
got
enough.
me into Doctor Who. Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, so I'm just gonna
Now, do I
go back and
this
listen to
off,
that if you want to know our thoughts on that as a whole. So I thought I had to bring those up, and then these are just odd ones that I saw on the shelf and went, yeah, I really enjoy that one. So I'm gonna rattle them off. Doctor Who and the Silurians, bit too long.
It's a funny old name, isn't it?
Odd ending. I love the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you can tell the show's really settling into what it's trying to do at that time with the whole Quatermass. The Doctor being stranded on Earth. They're really having fun with it. Sea Devils. I've not actually watched that in a long time, but I remember really enjoying it. And Sword Fight. Next, The Green
Yeah,
Death.
that bit's good. Even with the best bit.
Yeah, The Green Death. I feel like this one is quite underrated. It's Joe's last story, heartbreaking ending, and I think it's like peak Pertwee. Not in the sense that he's doing all these crazy stunts and stuff and driving hovercrafts and whatever the hell he was doing in Planet of the Spiders, but he's firing on all cylinders and he's in his prime, I think, during this point.
I remember seeing that episode a very long time ago.
It's great. My mum used to be
I
scared
can't
of it because of the maggots.
Giant maggots.
Giant maggots. And then the last 2 before we get into our actual top 5 for reals this time is Claws of Axos. As you can tell, I quite like the Third Doctor's era. That's just a great master story, I think. I think if I was introducing someone to the Doctor and the Master and their kind of Moriarty-like relationship, I would show them that. And Resurrection of the Daleks, because holy crap, it's dark. And there's a high body count. And I think Terry Malloy's Davros is brilliant. Don't really care for Tegan, so I wasn't that sad when she was leaving. And the Daleks sound really silly, so you can at least laugh at that.
What do you mean?
They sound ridiculous.
They do not sound. Don't. No. Yeah. I can't even.
You've come
can't
after
even
the
do
Dalek. You've pissed Harry off.
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
They are
It does
brilliant
have an
He's gonna kick-
insanely
he's gonna
high
kick
body
us off
count,
his
though, that
show.
story.
So yeah,
It's
that,
going to
there you
kick
go.
us off the show and take over the podcast.
I've
Like, I
inherited.
think that's one of the few episodes where, like, almost all the characters introduced die by the end.
There's quite a few of those stories.
Usually the supporting
It's
cast
like,
are dead.
Horror
Yeah.
of Fang Rock.
Yeah,
everyone
that's
dies.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, Horror of
that,
Fang
with
Rock,
the
everyone
lighthouse, that
dies.
one.
Yeah, the like.
Yeah.
And one of the ones we did recently, everyone dies. But that Resurrection, it's very close to doing that. I think there's only like one or two supporting cast who survive.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There's that guy from the Lightly Lads, who's in Resurrection of the Daleks.
Yes.
He dies, killing
Yeah.
everyone. I was like... Lytton survives
Yes.
because he comes back in Attack of the
Attack of the
Cybermen.
Cybermen. What do you think of Attack of the Cybermen on a
Yes.
quick tangent? Because I quite like that one.
It's really good.
I-
It's also good because I wasn't expecting like this somewhat recurring character.
It's good for Colin Baker's era, except I think the Cybermen are the worst part about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like they're all just a bit ham by that point. Like they've
Yeah,
already
but
done what they've
that
done.
music though. Bow wow wow wow.
Oh yeah, Bob.
Can't forget
Yeah,
that.
that is.
So stupid.
Do do do.
Ding ding ding.
Oh, Bob. Oh.
But yes, top 5 stories before we go off on another tangent.
Who's going first?
Shall we all say our fifth and then all say our fourth and then all say our...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do a round of 5, round 4, round. You know what? I'll start and then me, Dan, whichever one you want, Harry, then the other Dan.
I'll go second.
Yep.
Fine.
So-
Third.
Oh,
Fine.
sorry, Dan, you can go second then.
No, I don't want him.
No, it's fine. You've chosen now.
Okay, I'll
I
go
don't
second. I'll go second.
All right.
Okay.
We'll go Cameron, Harry, me, you.
So
Such a
mine aren't in any particular order. They're just the 5 classic stories I like the most.
Yeah. That's fine.
Which is the 5 Doctors, because, like Dan, it's one of the ones that got me into classic Who. And I've not brought it up as much as him, so I can mention it.
That is my number 1 pick.
Mine aren't in an order, so fuck you.
Well, fuck you.
I said fuck
Wow.
you first, so fuck you.
Well, fuck you.
But yeah, it's a really good story. I'm gonna try and not say as much here so Dan can have fun when it's number 1.
We can both talk about it here because there's no point in me bringing it up later when we get to number 1.
No.
Yeah. It's a really good anniversary story.
Yeah.
It's just a pure celebration. There's like
It's kind of dumb and a bit silly at points,
Yeah.
but it is also just Doctor Who like firing on all cylinders.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is the show.
Back the Yeti,
Yeah, brings back the
Got a
Yeti.
Yeti.
which is top notch too.
There is a bit of me that wants to be able to see like the original idea they had for if they could have got all the actors they wanted.
God, yeah, that would have been good.
Jamie being a full character in it and not just some weird aberration. You get the
I'm a
4th Doctor in
hologram.
there. You get the 3rd Doctor and the Brigadier interacting again.
Oh, and Sarah Jane.
And
Oh.
Sarah Jane with Tom. And hopefully not Susan just tripping over her own feet and breaking her ankle.
Mention her.
Grandfather!
When are you gonna mention Handel? When are you gonna mention Handel?
Grandfather!
And of course,
Pineapple.
Richard Handel being
Pineapple.
Excuse me, my dear
absolute
boy.
bastard, just pushing a Dalek into a corner.
Goodness me, the
then ducking.
TARDIS.
And Richard Handel creating the trend of whenever someone plays the 1st Doctor, they have to be a tiny bit sexist.
Sexy.
And yeah.
On a
Sexy sexist. That's what people call.
has anyone seen? I think I did mention it when we talked about it on like its own episode, but Have y'all seen the bloopers yet for the Five Doctors?
I couldn't
Yeah.
find
Is that
them.
when Davison's on the floor and he's like,
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, there's some really funny stuff in there.
And is it that one as well, where there's John Pertwee starting the car and it's just like, come on, then.
Fit.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, I love him.
You
and when
said they were on the
punch-
DVD,
when
Dan.
Brigadier punched Ainley.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, Dan, you said they were on the DVD, but I could not find them.
yeah. I think
Which
they
DVD do
I
you
think they
have?
must just be on the special edition. Why am I doing that? That's like a William Hartnell thing.
My boy.
Oh, my dear boy.
Yes, Spank Bottom. Chesterfield. Chessington's World of Adventures.
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield.
Just.
They're going to
Well,
put the
this
foot in the
DVD
lines against them.
It might be on that one. I don't know.
You got that one?
The DVD
That's
files. That takes me back.
Yeah, because they don't have the special,
Special edition.
whatchamacallit on here.
Honestly,
Bloopers on
I
this
am.
one.
I'm gonna have to just post it to you then, Dan, because it's important that you see these bloopers.
I need to. Are they on YouTube? Because I couldn't find them on YouTube, but I also
think-
don't remember looking.
I think they are on YouTube.
Give it a cheeky little search.
Doctors.
Go on then, Harry. You've not said much about the Five Doctors. 'cause
say
we
something,
started
Harry.
doing first
About
Doctor
the
impression.
Five Doctors.
Yeah, anything.
Well, it was the first DVD that they released of Doctor Who
It was, yeah, when
in
they did the first few.
1999. Yeah, and they used with different colours.
He's got that
But-
one. Dan's got that one.
Have I?
That's
The 1999 one.
Yeah, he must
Yeah,
have.
with silver cover and
Hang
the
on.
sort of yellow
I'm gonna have
Doctors.
to dig through some boxes to try and find it.
Because that's
give, me,
the special edition, the re-release thing.
give me 20 minutes.
Do you prefer the new effects? Well, I say new effects. They did them in 1999, but the one with the silvery triangle instead of the black square triangle.
So the black one is the one that kind of flips about like
That's-
that, right?
No, the black one.
It's
The
the one
black
that it looks
one-
like it's spinning,
black
yeah.
one-
Yeah, spin.
then
Oh no,
This-
they're both
the-
spinning.
The
This one.
silver.
The silver one is like a sort of curtain spinning,
Yeah, that's
and the
the
black
one.
one is like a triangle. I prefer the
Um,
silver one.
No, I prefer the black one because when they capture the first Doctor, his face gets stretched into a triangle, and it's the funniest thing. So that's the sole reason why I prefer that version. But I do like the Oh my god, I'm completely blanking. I just thought of it, and now it's completely gone.
Doctor Who.
Sorry, yeah, Doctor Who. That's really pissed me off. I
It
do
was
that
good
a lot
use
on
of
here.
the shard to get Tom stuck in it. It was good use of the shard.
Yes.
Yeah.
That scene then doesn't appear when they re-released Sharda, though. Him on the
Yeah, it
boat.
does.
Yeah, they.
No, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
remember
there.
seeing it in Sharda, but then Sharda
It-
on BritBox is just 1 hour, 160
Yeah, it's 'cause
minutes
they cut
long.
out-
101 hours.
However long it is, they didn't cut it up like everything else. It's
No.
just all through,
I put
no
it to-
breaks, so I can just go,
It's-
it's over.
It's very.
It's so long.
Nah, that's one of my favourite Tom Bakers.
It's good, but it's just I would prefer if BritBox just split it up into episodes.
Yeah.
First world problems. Moving on.
Yeah, it's a brilliant episode, and I want more of that sort of thing when we get multiple Doctor stories, like in Modern Who, which sort of what Twice Upon a Time is, more than Day of the
Yeah.
Doctor, but I just want the Doctors turning up, insulting each other, and then chasing each other with jugs of water through fan conventions.
Sitting on each other's knees.
Yeah,
It's
What a
that is one of my
bromance.
favourite pictures of all time, I think.
yeah. So Harry, you're number
There's a-
5.
Harry. No, none of us have
Harry.
said.
I was just
None of us have said. Harry
gonna
in it,
say
in a Tom Baker.
there's before I move on to my first number 5, there is a video somewhere on the internet of Patrick Troughton the day before he died at a convention
I've seen that.
saying goodbye to the convention, and it's really like heartwarming when you
yeah.
watch it. So I'd suggest
Oh,
because it's him just saying goodbye to this fan as the
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
saying goodbye, and then he died the day after.
you watch. He's having so much fun in the videos. Like he died the next day. It's like,
Yeah.
shit.
Imagine being
Um,
that fan though that he said goodbye to, and it's just like, oh
You're the
crap.
last person Troughton talked to.
Christ.
That
Yeah,
would be yeah. Anyway,
let's
number
find that
5.
person and get them on this podcast.
yes. Guess.
Pardon me.
My number 5. Fury from the Deep, which has been
Oh,
recently on the animation. Patrick Troughton, 6-parter. It's just brilliant. It's like a story which, when you hear about, should be absolutely shit, like seaweed coming to life and taking over people at an oil rig.
angry seaweed.
Yeah, should be
It's
terrible.
furious.
But it's really brilliant and like chilling. Like the way that Oak and Quill, who are the two henchmen, that's kind of like the sort of James Bond, like 2 henchmen gay couple,
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't have very good views on homosexuality back in the 60s. But yeah, just those, and it's very scary when they like scream to infect the hosts and stuff. Brilliant story. Pacing is very good. It keeps you interested even though it is a 6-parter. And the animation actually, I think, adds to the story because it gives it a sense of space and like size that the original didn't have.
Yeah, how is the animation in that one?
Screenshots. It's really good. It's like a mix of 3D character models and 2D
Oh, he's back.
backdrops.
He's back.
Oh, bonjour.
Oui.
I'm talking about Fury from
Fury from the Deep. Is that the one that they released recently?
recently, the most recent animation. But yeah, it's just good characters. Also, it's one of the best companion departure stories because they sort of build it out through the entire story. Because Deborah Watling knew she was going to leave the role as Victoria, so they like wrote it into the story and have her like starting to realise she isn't enjoying life on the TARDIS team as much as she did before.
And also, I think most importantly, Patrick Troughton's got a little hat on.
Yeah, he does have a little hat.
That's the
He's got a
most
little hat on.
important. None of the
First,
other episodes we mentioned.
sonic
now are
screwdriver.
related.
Is
As
it?
well.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a little
It
whistle.
looks a bit like a torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they
It is
couldn't
a
find
torch,
the.
isn't it?
No, they couldn't find the torch prop in it, so they used a life jacket whistle.
It's funny because I remember watching that when it went out on broadcast, and I remember turning to my children and saying, "I hope they don't keep using this as like a plot device for the rest of the shows." Like I couldn't handle it. And then lo and behold,
And that child grew up to be Chris Chibnall.
oh my god, what have I done? What have I done? The cat is back.
Oh, the cat is being wrangled.
My legs don't work now. He's been sat on the
Cat is stolen.
As
so
Ed
long.
Sheeran said.
Right.
They're not,
a little
not
lie down.
exactly like that.
Oh man, who's next?
Any thoughts on Fury from the Deep?
I'm not seeing it.
Seaweed.
Seaweed.
That's what I think.
Dan is promoting weed on.
I see just over there. I see weed.
You see rice.
Yeah, just move on now.
Yeah, no, this rice bake was laced with marijuana.
Yes, that's how it works.
No, that's where you get the flavour.
Yeah.
Marijuana rice.
Wow.
I know what and honestly, I wish we could call these episodes like random titles just to get all the clicks, like marijuana
man.
rice, and have the thumbnail look like it's some kind of cooking life hacks thing. Top 10, and it shows like rice and some marijuana. And they go on it, and it's just
We
us
just know
going.
people
My
in it
number
talk
5
about
Doctor Who
Who."
story is Inferno.
Nah, that is some levels of deception that we aren't comfortable with.
Speak for yourself.
I do.
Marijuana rice.
Oh, don't actually Google this.
There's several recipes for weed Rice Krispies
No,
cakes.
not what we're after.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
quite.
Do one of you two want to talk about your fifth favorite episode then, or?
It was Dan next because he's been petty.
I can.
Love you, really.
So, I hate you. But in like a cool like we actually fall in love one day. but it's like, oh, we're
We're actually a lot like Harley Quinn and the Joker. You and
We're
I.
actually, this is actually the Shobocast version of Raylo.
Which one sounds like?
Like this.
Well, of course, I'm the sexy, the
Have you been
brooding one.
watching the Five Doctors outtakes?
I can't do it.
I know when I'm a stupid, I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Oh my god, that's the easiest impression ever. Why don't people do that more?
It's about as easy to do as Bane from The Dark Knight Rises.
I don't have a bottle to hand.
I can do Peter Capaldi.
Oh, go on.
No one.
Do a Peter Capaldi.
Clara.
That's
Hello,
just
Clara.
sounds like the audio from
Peter
Series 9.
Capaldi. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Bill.
Hello.
Nado.
Now, don't let any of my Scottish friend. Oh, a lovely cat anus there, just for the
That
camera.
cat's asshole has been on half of this podcast now.
Yeah, don't let any
like
of
a
my
jelly
Scottish
bit.
friends hear you doing that, or you
Romano.
will be glassed.
I will.
Hey,
Okay.
can we
And
ask
you're
Harry
in Edinburgh.
just
How
sorry,
from Glasgow?
to interrupt the pace completely? But I know Harry's been listening for quite a while. Are you?
I know
Familiar,
you're our number one fan.
Are you familiar with Rosie Moore?
No.
Okay, wonderful. You don't need to be. I just needed to clear that up.
Sorry, who's Rosie
Now
Moore?
I can sleep at night.
The teenage fantasy of Tom Baker and his dorm
Oh, no.
mates
Oh no.
at his boarding school.
Oh, is this the thing? Oh, is this the thing that he recorded when he was sat in?
No.
And they had the wank club or something.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
So
Yeah.
you do remember Rosie Moore? It's not actually Rosie Moore. It's like
Yeah,
Rosie,
I remember you guys talking
Rosie Hall or
about her.
something, but we said it wrong, so now it's kind of stuck. Anyway, I just wanted
Wow.
to clear that up.
So
now I can
my
sleep
top
at night.
five, my fifth favorite classic is it's a First Doctor episode. It's
Ooh,
it's
Surprise.
the censor rights.
ooh, they're related to the Ood, are they not?
I believe, yeah, like cousins or something.
Yeah.
The weird little testicle bearded boys.
The Ood sphere is like close to the sense sphere.
The
I think.
sense, yeah. I think this was like the end of the First Doctor's first season. I think there was still Reign of Terror after this, but it was the first time.
Yeah,
I
there was-
think I enjoyed like the Aztecs and stuff, but it was the first time I was like, "Oh, I'm enjoying this. This isn't like a slog anymore."
Edge of Destruction.
No,
Is that the one where he's like not in it?
That's
No,
the one
he's
with
in-
his.
Which is the one? Which is the one where he like goes on? He went on
he
holiday.
disappears. He disappears.
Keys
in
of
Keys of
Marinus.
Marinus
That's
a lot.
the,
Yeah,
that's the one. Never mind. I know you'd mentioned one of them.
yeah. He's not in like three of those.
He was
There
on
is-
holiday.
An entire First Doctor episode story, though, where I think it's set before the chase, where they ran short of episodes they needed, and all of the cast had gone on holiday at this point, so they just made another episode that sort of like sets up the story of the chase with
Yeah, it's like a
Mission to the
prequel,
Unknown.
wasn't
and
it?
people and everything.
It was the prequel to Dalek's Master Plan. It's Mission to the Unknown,
Yes,
and it's not any of the main
yeah,
cast.
there is none of the main cast at all.
Yeah,
It's just so
it just sets
stupid.
up the story, and also they don't put it before Dalek's Master Plan. They put it before the Mythmakers, which comes before Dalek's Master Plan. So we have the prequel to Dalek's Master Plan, then we have a whole 4-part story, and then we have Dalek's Master
Yeah.
Plan.
It is really stupid, but they ran short of episodes and everyone had gone on holiday, so it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, so the censor rights. I don't know. I really enjoy that that I can't remember what I was going to say about it.
I enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Now you know the feeling. It happens to me every episode.
What is it? It. If I just keep saying it, then I'll think of something to say. I think the censor rights are an interesting because they're not really a villain in the story. It's they're
No,
a
they're
race of
just
people of
there.
whom some of them are some bad dudes. But it's one where they're trying to work to a peaceful solution and don't. There's. It's not like an annoying thing where there's a misunderstanding and it's like, oh, no one, like, this could be corrected by someone saying one, but no one corrects anyone. It's like, oh, everyone's understanding in this story and is working to try to do the best and is working against the. This is not. These aren't sentences.
I love watching him squirm to talk about Doctor Who. I love it. We've come so far.
It's good at creating drama, that one.
Yeah.
You actually get annoyed when like the baddies are being bad and you're like worried for the main characters because their plot.
I enjoy that a central plot, like a central like plot line of that episode is the fact that no one can tell any of the Sensorites apart from if they wear different clothes. Someone just puts
not
a
even
different
the Sensorites.
Someone just puts a different hat on, and you're like, "Oh, Chris, you're wearing Chris's hat, so you must be Chris."
Sensorite Chris.
I would actually like to see the Sensorites return in Modern Who, like given a bit of a nicer redesign so they don't look like a bearded testicle. But yeah,
what would their story be, though?
Speaking of
it would have to be another
Dan,
little one on their own planet.
Yeah, maybe they could be used a bit like the Ood, where they're like made an unintentional villain because someone's saying, "Go do this, or I'll kill you all."
I imagine there could be an interesting story with the.
Yeah.
Something Oody.
You're Oody.
Oods versus Sensorite. Whoever wins, we lose.
Yes, that's the Sensorites. Dan, what's your number 5? Go.
My number 5 is the Aztecs.
Ooh, that one where he married the woman because he gives her a drink.
Yeah, hot chocolate.
I think Coco. Yeah.
Have a hot chocolate. Now we're married.
Wonderful.
He just drinks the hot chocolate, and she says, "Now married."
Yeah, it's a classic
like entrapment of the highest order.
Pure historical hijinks in Skew, because Barbara kind of stumbles into. They assume that she's the Queen Yetaxa, don't they?
Barbara's a right twat.
She's having so much fun now, and she just
Barbara's great in this episode.
She's just thinking like, I think this is the first time that the Doctor. I think the other Doctor that we see the most. That's not even English. The Doctor that we see also do this the most is probably 10, where they go to like a fixed point or they go back in time, and he's making it clear like we cannot change this. Mm-hmm. This has to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's the first introduction of that.
Yeah.
Which they change Inferno, and then forget that they've changed it.
It's alright because it was Nazis, so you know. But yeah.
It's one of the like better, like pure historicals they do in this era, because they're still in this like strict historical drama, science fiction bullshit.
It's one
historical
or the other.
Science fiction.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Like,
it's not.
And that sort of does let them down at some points, but this is a really good historical bit.
It's great.
I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this as a historical.
All right, I'm just gonna mute Harry now. So I did that last week loads. I kept muting Dan. That was so funny.
You little shit.
Big shit.
It just drags a bit more than the previous ones. Like Marco Polo, which is a part drags less, and that doesn't even exist.
You see, I thought it would drag. I've only watched this once, and it was last year at the start of lockdown.
Last year.
Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell, Dan, what's happened?
Oh, fucking hell.
Fucking hell. And yeah, I just put it on because I saw that I had it, and I'd heard the odd YouTuber talking about it, saying how good it was, and I was like, is it though? The 60s was kind of lame. And then I put it on, and I was like, actually, this is fun. And it flew by for me, honestly. The fight
don't
scenes,
like
the
the
fight
high
scenes
priest
with
bloke.
Ian's a bit crap. The high priest.
Oh, the fight scene.
But I think
With their massive like
what's he called? Platoxel.
platoxel,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
something
someone
like
called Platoxel in it. All their names sound too similar in that episode.
What Utaxa? False goddess.
Utaxa and Utoxel.
I think
and...
it's just so like.
I can't remember anyone's name actually in it.
It's like a Scooby Doo episode. It's like it's
Yeah.
like almost the closest
It is a
it
little
gets
bit.
to Scooby Doo. It's like just ridiculous. I really like it for that. I can't remember what Susan
Well,
But it
does.
has got good content.
She
No,
gets sent to
but you
school and
can't
isn't in
remember what
most.
Susan does in most things.
Yeah. So,
She gets sent off to like Aztec school and isn't in most of the episodes, which is why I enjoyed it.
And then when she is in it, she's there shouting, "Grandfather!"
Grandfather.
yeah. But I think
The Susan in An Unearthly Child, and the Susan we get from the rest of it.
Different fucking character. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get onto this when the
I
three
think
pick.
I think you should do like a little video on it.
Just how much I hate Susan.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the Cushing movies?
I
Yeah.
haven't.
The Peter
no.
Cushing movies. Susan's so much better in those. 'cause
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
just got an actual good child actor.
I think I've only seen one of those. I don't remember which one it was because it was quite a long
She's-
time ago.
She's made Barbara's sister in it, isn't she?
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
of the changes they have to make, Barbara and Susan are now the Doctor's grandchildren.
Yeah,
And
and Ian is
Ian is-
courting Barbara.
Yeah.
So not much has changed.
And then Ian goes in the second movie. He just disappears. And they now
Yes,
have
because
a woman called Louise. Oh
Yeah.
no, Louise is the granddaughter. Louise and Susan are the granddaughters. And then they get Bernard Cribbins in the second one.
yes, as Tom?
Yeah, Tom, the policeman.
Tom the
He's brilliant.
policeman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where were we?
anything else to say about Aztecs, anyone?
There's a great shot when he realizes him drinking the hot chocolate means he's married,
Oh,
and it's like
it's
His eyes.
there's almost a laugh track, isn't there? It's like it's gonna go
Yeah.
"Ba-da-da," and it'll say the Doctor, William Hartnell. It's like Seinfeld music. Playing.
I find it funny as well. Like they get Barbara and Susan to dress up in like historical dress from the Aztecs, whereas Ian and the Doctor are still just there in like shirt and trousers. Like they don't have to put any of the fancy Aztec stuff on. He's literally still just walking around in his suit
But I just,
with the monocle.
When they shot the bit where the guy's like fallen off the building or something, they did that standing up because they couldn't, like, the cameras were so heavy they couldn't like hold them facing, like, looking down. So they just had this guy standing against a wall like that.
Yeah.
The costume.
yeah, I just like the simplicity of it. They want to get back to the TARDIS, but Barbara's got him in some deep shit, and Ian's also fighting. He's kind of been brought into it as well, and the Doctor's accidentally got married, and this woman genuinely likes him, and it's quite adorable. But he just kind of fucks off, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. It's just silly fun.
Yeah.
And like I said, it really sets really sets it in stone that you can't, even though it does like to contradict itself a lot, the show, going back and changing certain things just can't be done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I forgot to say about the Tensorites. I think it's the first description of Gallifrey we get in the series. Barbara talks about, like, she doesn't say the word Gallifrey, but she, like the burnt orange sky and the silver trees
And the Timeless
that's like-
Child.
and the timeless child, and that's a description that's stuck throughout 50 years of TV,
Yeah.
which I found really impressive.
It's amazing that it lasts for that description of Gallifrey.
Yeah, it's almost like there's some extra stuff added to it, but it's almost like word for word the same as when Tennant describes it in Gridlock.
Hmm.
Anyway, should we get to our number 4?
I like
Yes.
Gridlock.
It's
I
fine.
feel
So-
like Gridlock gets too much hate.
But yeah, my number 4 is a 7th Doctor story.
Ooh.
It is Battlefield.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, I knew
The
you brought this
return
up.
of
No,
the Brigadier.
angered
Because
Harry.
I was editing something today when it was a video
not
you and I
angry.
were doing, and you mentioned Battlefield. I thought, why is he's so keen on Battlefield? So I'm not surprised this came up.
I'm
now.
just
I really
surprised.
like Battlefield.
There's some racism. in
He's just so
Now,
good.
which one is your favourite?
Yeah, that's why he likes
Battlefield?
it. He likes it because it's
Because
got
I'm a big fan
racism
of
in it.
Battlefield
Likes the racism.
1.
I'm joking, Cameron. Isn't
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good story. It's like it expands on unit as well because before this we'd only really seen like the British bit, and we get like Polish and French unit officers as well.
Brigadier Bambera.
Yeah, Brigadier Bambera as well, who
Yeah.
is never seen again.
No, but she's a good character.
Yeah. Like I like the interaction between her and Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, where it's just like, Brigadier, and like they do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It sort of starts setting up a twist with the Doctor that we never get because it got cancelled, of him being Merlin or something. But it isn't
Yeah. All that.
possibly not this universe's Doctor. It's a different universe's Doctors and they get the same face.
What?
They had that whole thing with the Cartmel master plan
Yeah.
Oh, that's
where they
okay.
were gonna
That
introduce
makes sense.
that he was like back at the beginning of Time Lord Society, which is basically the Timeless Child.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Which they were gonna do.
Timeless Child. It's the Timeless Child, but with Ulysses, is it? Is that was supposed to be the Doctor and the Master's dad? Because then Barusa was their granddad.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
we'll,
They go
we'll
back
have
to
to do a whole
Gallifrey.
episode on that one day where I just read out what the plan was, and you'll just go,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I've got him as Facebook friends. Andrew Cartmel.
What, Cartmel?
Yeah.
What?
I got
He's just
Get him on the podcast.
I got
Oh, just
Warris.
what?
Yeah, Warris
Yeah.
Hussain got recommended as a friend to me on Facebook.
really.
Yeah, that was so
Did he,
weird.
did he ever accept that friend request you sent?
Let me check.
Also, I've got that. I've got Dorian as a Facebook friend. Blue guy.
The blue
From the new
book?
series.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still
Oh,
requested.
is he-
He's
you
not
got Warris
accepted it.
Hussain.
It's,
No, he's not
but it came
responded
up
to it
as
yet.
the
Oh,
first thing
okay.
on People You May Know. I was like, what? If
I've
he
also
doesn't
got
accept,
Colin
I'll just request to add Sasha Dewan instead. It's the next best thing.
His replacement. The guy who Rise of the Cybermen Age of Steel?
hmm
Lumix's right-hand man, the sort of old guy.
I've got his
Yeah.
autograph, the one that
I've got
listens
him
to The Lion Sleep
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, that guy.
Yeah,
Mr.
I've got him
Crane.
as a Facebook friend.
Is it
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Crane?
Crane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
His
a
name's
signed
Colin
photo
Spall.
with him. I don't know how I got it. I've never met him.
I'll send you his Facebook details and then you can friend him.
I'll send it
Does he
back to him.
Just
I'm gonna send him a signed
like,
photo
here's
of
me and
himself.
you.
I'll send him a signed photo with him, signed by me.
I did that to Fraser Hines on Twitter.
Oh.
Right,
Um,
where
Yeah, Battlefield. I quite like the bit
Yeah.
with the Brigadier at the
tangent.
end where he's like facing off against the destroyer. Where it's just like the
Yeah.
Doctor's going, alright, I'll go do it, and he just punches them in the face and goes, right, I'm off.
Oh, the Destroyer from Thor 2011.
Yeah. And like
Imagine
I
that
just really
against
like-
the Seventh Doctor.
I really like the line he has where it's just like, are you Earth's champion? And it's like, no, but I just try my best or something.
Oh.
Like, are you the best this planet can do? And it's like, and he just goes, well, I tried my best and
I will
shoots
try
the
my
fucker.
best.
That has become a thing with the Brigadier in his later stories, where it's just like one-liner shoots a fucker, because it's also what he does at the end of his bit in Sarah Jane Adventures.
5 rounds rapid, isn't it? Yeah, that's
yeah.
referencing a Zygon
the Damon,
version as well.
It came from the
Yeah.
Daemons, yeah.
Yeah,
because he's like,
Oh,
"That's the
we've
wings
lost
there,
Dan.
5 rounds."
We've lost Dan.
My house just got nuked.
Out of action.
It was the Brigadier. He shot
yeah,
5
and then
rounds
even
rapid at
as
my house.
the Cyberman in Dark Water, he just shoots a fucker.
I forgot about that
It
one.
would have been nicer if he actually, that was the last thing that the Master does, and everything else before then is before that, and the Master does actually get to be killed off by the Brigadier. It'd be brilliant, but
I prefer the way they got rid of the Brigadier when Matt gets the call.
yeah,
I think that was nicer than
Yeah.
bringing him back as a
Yeah.
Cyberman.
that
I
is
don't think
also
they
a slight
thought about
reference
Left it as
to
that.
Battlefield, because the Seventh Doctor goes, no, it's not meant to happen like this. You're meant to die at an old age in your sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh, we went peacefully in his sleep, but he always had us have a help for you. And it's like,
Is that the
whiskey
end
or
of A
something.
Good Man
Yeah.
Goes to War?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the
So.
Wedding of River Song? Is that one of
Yeah.
those, isn't it?
Good Man Goes to War.
But I thought that was one of the most beautiful ways they could have done it, considering the actor had already died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then they bring him back as a Cyberman.
yeah. I sort of
Moffat.
get why he brought him back as a Cyberman, but
Because Moffat. Because Salute,
Yeah.
Epic Salute. Wholesome
Yeah.
It was also
100
too
Salute.
far away. It was too far away, though, from the point where Nicholas Courtney had actually died.
yeah.
Hmm.
to be
I
as
think that was a
impacting.
bit of a Moffat and possibly even a Capaldi bit where like they grew up watching it and like I can imagine if he was still around, Nicholas Courtney would have interacted with the 12th Doctor
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Capaldi's 12 is so similar to the third.
fan. Yeah,
He would have,
he's like a mix between Hartnell and Pertwee.
yeah, he would have fought tooth and nail to do that.
He's got a bit of 6 as
Mm.
well.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
a healthy,
But-
like
but-
pedigree of like the classic Doctors.
He's a good version of Six.
Hmm.
Well, 6 is
Damn.
like 1 and 4.
yeah.
Someone hasn't watched Trial of a Time Lord.
I think 6
I
has
liked
got a
him in
bit of
Jubilee.
doing as well,
6 is good.
but I'll
Yeah,
get
that's
into that
why they
later
work
because
so
it's
well.
one of my picks.
Yeah, it's Battlefield.
Yeah, and it's just like a really nice thing, and also how at the end all of the main female characters just drive off in Bessie to go shopping, and it's like, we'll have dinner ready for later, and just leave all of the boys at the house, including the alien King Arthur, who doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Is it a better or worse interpretation of King Arthur than Transformers: The Last Night?
I'd say better, even though he stands there for most of it, gets a sword thrown at him by Ace, and has no idea what's happening.
That sounds like my ideal night, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't
So-
really care for Morgana or Mordred or whatever they call themselves, but I'm mostly just there for
I
the
like the
Brigadier
fact that-
with other doctors.
Where they draw the circle and they have to stay inside it, like proper witchcraft.
Mm.
Wow, that went quiet then.
Me and
How
Dan. Well,
fucking dare you
because
say that, Harry?
50% of the people here don't know what you're on about as well. Me and Dan are just like,
Yeah, those two haven't seen it, I don't think.
no.
But yeah, you two
Fair
go
enough.
watch Battlefield and then
It's okay.
watch the rest of that series of Sylvester McCoy because it's like the last series, so you know.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's got Kirsten Fenrick in it.
It was a toss up between Battlefield and the one with the cheetah people. I can't remember the title.
Survival.
The chick-
Survival.
Survival, because
Yeah.
I really like both of those.
And you're a furry.
No, I think one of the reasons why I like Survival so much is because it's the Master, the Seventh Doctor with Ace, which is much better than the Seventh Doctor and Bonnie Langford or whatever the fuck.
That was
Jesus
her
Christ.
companion's full name, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the last classic Doctor Who story.
Yeah, and you're a furry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cameron is a furry.
yeah, it's Paul who wanted to do his self-titled furry
He
trilogy.
does want to do the furry trilogy.
He just keeps going on about that,
He
doesn't
keeps
he?
going
We're
on
gonna
about
do
Earth,
that.
which is it's a New Who thing though, isn't it?
Yeah,
New Earth.
What about Agador?
What? Agador.
Agador.
Oh, from the no.
From Curse of Peladon.
yeah,
We could try. You'd have to. There's quite a lot of like
Oh,
furry stuff in classic. Here.
yeah. No, Paul's furry trilogy. It's New Earth,
Gridlock. and
Gridlock,
Orphan 55.
Orphan 55.
That's how we're gonna round out.
What?
The last thing we do is orphan. Kill ourselves.
Pigs, cats, and drakes.
Specifically, -3, I think, was the reason why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about.
Yeah, he has a thing for it. He's actually drawn some really interesting pictures.
Yeah.
Quite
See if we can get
graphic.
them sent over to
You
you.
don't want to look at them in a normal browser. It's got to be an incognito private browsing.
Yeah, he's made a subreddit r/hyphen
Scarrow.
-3 not safe for work. You can find all of Paul's drawings there. Jesus.
Nice. I
I
don't
don't
think.
think he's
Um,
happy that he's not.
Swiftly moving on. Harry, you're number 4.
Oh fuck! I forgot we were actually doing this.
That's what we always think that here. We always suddenly realise what it is we're supposed to be doing.
Inferno.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Perfect,
mother.
because that's later on in my list, so let's chat about Inferno.
It's fucking marvelous, and it's like the first time they did parallel universe story in Who, and also it's sort of, even though they don't really visit it that much, where you can change time, it is the first thing where they sort of prove that if it's drastic enough, you can change the laws of time, because that's how they save the day. And then Pertwee goes on a whole monologue about it, and it's just really well scripted, and the doubles are acted well. Like Nicholas Courtney plays a brilliant evil person.
Yeah,
Yes,
evil
with his
brigadier
eye
with an eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Liz as well. She does a
Yes,
brilliant job.
and that when he's tapping into, I can't remember what like her dream was, but he's because was it that she wanted to be a scientific advisor? Was that her thing? Obviously, because the real Liz is that, and he was trying to tell her that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he
because she wanted, the alternate one wanted to be that when she was older. She wanted to be a scientist. And
yeah, but because everyone's a fascist, the world's like really cruel, and,
Yeah.
and like, everyone's just kind of doing what they've told, and there's no health
Yeah.
and safety, or it's God, it's
and the
a good
Brigadier's
one.
a coward in his other side,
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
which is my one complaint is that they didn't give like a proper send off to Liz. She just, it didn't even say she was going to leave,
No,
and then
that was the
Tori,
last one, wasn't
she's
it?
gone.
Yeah.
It's
I'd have
what I'm
loved
excited
another
to
one.
get to. I think I'm excited to get to the Pertwee era.
Oh, you're gonna
just in
love-
general.
You're gonna love season 7, but you're gonna absolutely adore season 8.
Hmm.
Oh my god, season 8 is where it just finds its feet, and
Yeah.
oh my god.
I
It's
prefer
just
season
Pertwee.
7.
I love Pertwee.
That is longer.
You
Season 7, in my opinion, is better than season 8, but it's longer, so it's harder to
Season
get.
I-
through.
eight's
I
the
agree,
one
to be
where
honest.
every villain's the master, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
What?
that's where we get the master. Yeah, Delgado.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
more.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Mafia.
That being said, though, I don't really like Ambassadors of Death. That's the only thing that puts me off season 7 as a whole.
Oh no, I love Ambassadors of Death.
Oh,
It's so brilliant.
I need to find the level of drunkenness that I need to be in to watch Ambassadors of Death all the way through.
Unpopular opinion, don't like the Daemons in season 8.
I mostly just like that for 5 rounds rapids, and the
I mean,
Yeah.
Daemons
all the
from the
cult
planet
stuff's
Deimos.
quite interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything bad about it, but that's the beauty of the show, isn't it? You like
Yeah.
what you like. Yeah, Inferno, great.
Just
what else
back
can
to
I say
the
that hasn't been
Daemons
said?
quickly. I'm pretty sure that episode, Sean Pertwee was on set, like
Yeah,
when they
he's-
were filming, and nicked loads of props.
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put the video in the chat, and then when we're done,
He's-
you can go and watch it. But he shows off the props he's kept. He's got like the crystal from Metabelus 3, and he's got Bok, the actual
shit.
statue.
Oh,
He sits in his porch.
Yeah.
he wears his dad's ring. That
Yeah.
Pertwee wore.
Oh man,
The
do you know the
Athena-
story
Tell-
about
Tell
that?
us the story again, Dan.
He found it.
Oh man,
He found it at the bottom of the sea.
he fucking went deep sea diving and found a Roman coin,
Yeah.
and turned it into a ring, and then wore it in his costume as the Third Doctor because he's a fucking lunatic.
He's a
He's
badass
a
as
badass.
well.
John Pertwee is
That's-
insane.
He was part of basically like
brilliant.
the naval secret service thing, and worked with Ian
Yeah.
Fleming. So like part of he trained people to be spies.
Yeah.
He
He's-
was
he's
fucking
he's-
mad.
Right, I'll stick it in the
He was
chat
on the
for
Navy
you,
Dock as well. Ah, thank you very
so you
much.
can have a look
He
at that
was
later.
also-
It's so fun, that video.
The day after it got sunk, was meant to go on to HMS Hood as well.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't listening. I was just trying to find.
No, just bit about John Pertwee. In World War II, he was meant to be transferred to HMS Hood, but it sank the day before.
He's a lucky fuck.
Yeah, because there were no survivors.
He's
Yeah, who's next on their things stuff?
Yeah, it is me, but yeah, I'm now down to 3 because we've done Inferno. So yeah, that's alright. Remembrance of the Daleks. It had to get brought up. This is, I think the general consensus is that this is the best, if not in the top 3 Doctor Who stories ever.
I've got that on my third as well.
Yeah. My God. Help me out here, because
You can't even
so
tell
much to
that.
unpack.
You can't even tell that it's 4 parts. It glides past so
Yeah.
The pacing's perfect. All the
It
side
doesn't
characters
feel
are
like
interesting.
Is this the one at Coal Hill?
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
Coal Hill,
it's-
and it's one of my favourite bits that the modern series can really learn a lot from in terms of like tying continuity together. They go into the lab, and Ian's book is left on the side like he'd just been reading it, and obviously by this point they've just gone off with the first Doctor. That's how you do
Also,
continuity nods.
The Imperial Dalek design is the best Dalek design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white and gold.
I agree.
I like that
And I think
design.
with the whole white Daleks fighting black Daleks.
Me and my mate are about to build one. So that's how
we
cool
better
I
be
think they are.
getting regular updates then on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, that's going to be great. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the Necros ones. But you're right.
I think we can all agree though the best Dalek design is the Caves of Meglos.
Caves
The Caves of Meglos.
Yes.
Caves of Megalodos. Ah, yeah.
Caves of Meglos.
What?
He's on about.
What's the Caves of Meglos?
He's on about those Jungles of Mechanus ones, but
Yeah.
he's an
The
idiot,
jungle.
so,
Jungles of
What, the movie Dalek?
yeah.
the movie Daleks. I mispronounced their thing in an early episode, and I just keep calling them Caves of Meglos.
I've actually still got the box, and I changed the label to say Caves of Megalodos.
I don't know where I've got that from because every time I Google it to see if I remember it from somewhere,
It just
it's
comes up.
just us. It's us that come
Yeah,
up.
it just comes up with the podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you got that from. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't really
Remembrance.
care for the Davros twist in this episode, with him being the Emperor.
What, and the little girl being Davros, but not.
Yeah,
I really
don't.
enjoy that.
I quite like that.
I don't really care
I
for
like the
Davros
little
in the story though. Like,
Oh no, he is just used as like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I'd argue
not-
he's not a crucial part of it.
no, I think that's partially
No.
why I don't care
It's
for him
more
because
about
like he's been an integral part of every other story he's been in, and then here he's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
I
still better than David Goodison in Destiny of the Daleks.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's not even talk about Destiny. Let's not even go into Destiny. That is what a mess.
I really
The
want.
special effects in Remembrance, the special effects, they do the skeleton for the first time
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you get shot. Really good.
Is it also the first time the Daleks go
I was
upstairs,
just
or
gonna
is...
say yeah. It's
The Daleks do levitate in Revelation, but it's done so shit you can't tell that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
And this also has a scene my sister used for part of her uni work when they had to talk about empowering women in media, and I told her this because she was messaging me about it.
That
Was Ace beating the shit out of the Dalek with a baseball bat?
that is
Yeah.
brilliant. That's one of the best scenes in
Yeah.
Classic Who.
Ace
And, like,
falling
Ace-
in
She broke.
Ace
Ace and
falling
the
in love
Doctor
with
as well.
her. Oh my god, we all did it again.
She broke her arm running through the window. Well, she either broke it or dislocated it. But when she had to do that scene where she runs across the tables and jumps through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But yeah, Ace and the Doctor's relationship in this is also like sort of like peak because it's like Ace, don't do anything stupid. However, I will have the Nitro 9, please. I need to blow something up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ace falling in love with a not right. And her slow realization of that, when she turns the sign around that says, I think it says no coloureds.
Yeah.
Wording on it.
Yeah.
It's like, whew.
Yeah, she
it's some
falls
heavy
in love with
stuff
him,
for it
sees
to
that,
tackle.
and then just goes, nope.
It tackles with some heavy stuff in this episode. I think it does a better job than a lot of the modern era has with
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And
Well, in Battlefield, Ace is resorts to a racial slur
God.
with the Asian women, because when they're turning against each other when they get when they're in that circle, they start
Yeah.
shouting at each other, and then she says something rude to her.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that nowadays, but I think because of when it was made, that's why it happened. But
Yeah.
it shouldn't have. But
It's a Towns of Wen Chiang thing, I guess, or a Tomb of the Cybermen
Yeah.
thing, where it's
Yeah.
like that is just a blind decision. You should have thought about that. But
yeah,
yeah, what else was I going to say about Remembrance?
I want to see what happened to that casket
Oh, the Hand
that
of
he
Omega.
buried.
Again,
Yeah.
another really good.
What, the CGI one?
Another really good continuity nod is when he goes to pick it up, and the guy who's working there says something like, "It's strange. I thought he was a little old man with grey hair last time we met." Because
I thought the
obviously-
guy
Yeah.
was blind, and it's like, oh, you sound a bit different.
Oh yeah, it was that. I think someone mentions that he had grey hair.
Yeah.
I might be getting
The
confused.
guy who's blind is Packer from Invasion.
Huh.
No,
Oh, is it? Wait, the same actor or
And-
the same character?
the same
Actor.
actor.
Yeah.
And then Michael Sheard, who plays the schoolmaster, is also in Pyramids of Mars, and he's in everything. They got all their returning cast members for this one story.
Yeah.
Man.
There's only about one, supporting cast member who only played one role. Everyone
Yeah.
else got reused at some point.
Yeah. But have you seen Robots of Death?
Aye,
Not
aye.
for a while.
I grew up on Robots of Death on videotape.
Luce is one of the scientist women in Remembrance of the Daleks.
I don't ring any bells.
Fair enough.
But I'll take your word for it.
Thank
Yeah,
I appreciate.
you should.
Well, I just
Yeah.
did.
I want to see.
So what? We got a problem here.
I want to see what they do with the
Fight.
Hand
Fight.
of Omega
Fight.
in Modern Who, especially since they had a spin-off with Class at Coal Hill. That was near that place,
Class
and none of
is
the bad
at-
guys went, "Oh, there's a giant weapon in that grave. I'll just go get that."
Class is terrible.
I think it's fine.
Well, you're wrong. It is terrible, and Paul's
You
not
are
here to
wrong.
defend
I
it.
think it's quite good.
You've got the my.
I have the DVD.
You actually gave
I
money
think
to
it's
Clark.
promising in parts.
Yeah,
It's
but
for
so's-
some reason on
so's a
2
lot of
discs.
things.
I didn't think it was long enough.
Oh Jesus! The only thing I like from that is its theme tune and intro.
I like it because I can use it as a claim into the Doctor Who universe. Because my nan goes to the same church as Catherine Kelly's nan.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So that's the trivia
got-
for this episode covered. Thanks, Cameron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dan, you're number 4.
Oh boy. Me?
Yes, you.
Yes.
No, I want Dan, who's just been, to give his number 4 that he's just given.
Well, you never know.
Oh, can I just say before we move on? I want to say it's a massive shame that Remembrance isn't the 25th anniversary story, and instead it's Silver Nemesis. You know, because Silver. Jesus Christ! What a terrible idea.
this is the worst Cyberman story.
It's just it's just bad.
Speaking of Cybermen stories, my number 4 pick is Earthshock.
Excellent.
Excellent.
It
We
appears
just
Dan
did that at
has
the same
time.
Earthshock.
Go on.
I think it's neat.
Yeah.
And it's an episode that I enjoy because it kind of switches halfway through what it is. Because it starts as we're going in a mysterious cave. What mysterious caves are we going to find in here? And then by the end of it, it's
a drastic scenery change, and
it's
Yeah.
Cybermen in space on a spaceship,
yeah,
and they're attacking and getting trapped in walls. I don't think it's a good evolution of a story. I think
Yeah.
it's the the modern series I find has always had a bit of a weird relationship with the Cybermen, in which they've always kind of been puppets, as opposed to a force of their own. And it's really nice seeing them in of
There's only like 3 stories in the modern era where the Cybermen are themselves. There's Age of Steel,
Nightmare in Silver.
Nightmare in Silver, and the Next Doctor. I would say.
The Next Doctor's good.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's underrated.
But
My mate's dad was in Earthshock
ah,
Who was he? He's Adric.
as Water. No,
As
no
Earthshock.
Waters.
Yeah,
It's a little
Earthshock's great.
plastic dinosaur.
It's Comfort Who, I think. It's
Yeah.
one that you can just put on, you know exactly what you're getting, and you know you'll enjoy it.
And it is a bit controversial, isn't it, because of Adric, I believe.
yeah.
We must have discussed this on the episode we did about it.
Controversial in what?
But, I can't remember.
Then no.
It's got
I
that,
don't, it's because companions had died before this, hadn't they?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was people kicked up a fuss about Adric, didn't they?
No, I didn't. I thought
I
people
might be
didn't like
making
him.
this
I
up,
thought
I
I thought the
think.
general kind of consensus was that he was a bit shit.
Peter Davison
Well,
didn't like him at all.
No.
That's why
Well,
Did he not? Oh.
Oh,
he got kicked out because Peter didn't like him.
that's right. The episode does do a
That's
good
so
job
funny.
of caring.
I don't think Lila Ward liked him either, which was quite lucky that like he joined as
No.
she was leaving.
No, none of the main cast liked him.
Oh,
He only got the job because he was John Nathan Turner's toy boy. Because John Nathan Turner is a gay man,
Yeah.
and Matthew Waterhouse also a gay man, and
Yeah.
the consensus is he did some favors for John Nathan Turner to get the job.
John
yeah.
Nathan Turner, a questionable person.
I've heard that
Yeah.
before, but I've never seen any solid proof, and they've always denied it. But
Sorry, let me reword it. John Nathan Turner and Gary Downey are questionable people.
Mm.
Were questionable people.
apparently Nathan Turner got his job there as well for doing certain things for people as well. But this is stories for another time.
Yeah, we should wait till Paul's on,
Yeah.
because Paul would love to gossip about this stuff.
Yeah.
Be all over it.
Yeah.
I can be Paul.
When I was growing up, I never
could be your
saw
Paul.
episode 4 of Earthshock. Like when I'd watched
You never saw the fourth
Yeah, because my mum
when Adric dies.
really liked Adric and Matthew Waterhouse.
So she deleted
Just
it.
So-
didn't show
So,
it.
so she, whenever it was on TV and I was
It
watching
didn't
it,
happen.
she'd turn it off before episode 4.
It didn't
Yeah,
happen.
like-
You're not allowed to see it.
My middle name
He's
as well
still
was
alive.
almost Adric, which I'm slightly glad
Really?
my dad talked her out of that.
You're so lucky that it was not.
Yeah,
They got him to come back in Time Flight, which is the episode after Earthshock, so that they could put him down on the cast list for it, so that people wouldn't.
So
know
they
he
could
was
put him
gonna
down.
get off.
yeah. He then
They could be on the
comes
cast
back
that people-
for a brief cameo in Peter Davidson's last one.
So in case of Androzani, when all the companions are like,
Yeah,
you
where you
know
get
that
Chameleon and Tegan and
Yeah.
Nissa and Turlo and the Master just screaming, "Die!"
Die! That was a good effect though, the wavy lines.
Yeah,
It was a cool regeneration
Like-
scene, that.
Yeah.
It's a shame what happened after.
Hey,
my
now.
dear, not a moment too soon.
Down the barrel.
Anything else about this episode then?
Earthshock.
I like that.
Androidical.
I like that Peter Davison folds his hat up into a little thing and puts it in his pocket.
That's very
Well,
satisfying.
I'm pretty
to
sure he
watch.
does that in. I like that
Every
he uses it
story.
as a little. Yeah, but I like that he uses it as a little stick to poke things.
I like how he
That's
kind
all
of
I've got to
he
say.
rolls it up and he puts one end on his nose and the other on the table on which is lined up loads of cocaine. He just
Androids used to scare me when I was little.
Were you scared of them because of the lighting, or was it just the
No, just they
face
were
or the?
creepy.
Yeah, they
were
freaked
just
me
like-
out as well, but it was mainly because of the cave lighting.
I thought they were the Raston Warriors as well. I thought they were the same.
Basically, are
Raston
the
Warrior
same
robot.
prop though, aren't they? They're just painted different.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't even mention
Ra-
the Raston Warrior. We've brought up 5 Doctors twice, and we've not mentioned.
The Rascal Warrior robot suit though is just the silver underneath suit for the Cyberman, just without the extra layer of cyber bits.
That's the easiest 5-inch figure to make, by the way. Just get an
They
Axon
used
body
an
and a Shara's Jack head, and then sand it down, and then paint it silver, and you're done. There you go. Kit
they
bashing, we're
used
done.
flight like RAF flight suits for the Cybermen
Mm.
from the
Yeah.
80s.
Didn't they use wetsuits for
Yeah.
the invasion ones?
Yeah,
Because even
I've
Yeah.
got
even on
got
the figures,
those
if you look,
wetsuits.
it's got a little badge where that badge on the suit was.
Yeah.
And they've just painted over it.
yeah. They're called
Yeah.
I think they're called beaver tail wetsuits because they're the bit that comes up from behind over your crotch
Like Dan.
Yeah.
and buttons in.
Bit of fun.
Just the Cyberman as well in 5 Doctors. When the Cyberman
Comes
starts
up
throwing up,
behind
it's
over your
just
crotch.
tea.
T.
Yeah. Like, they got a milky cup of tea and had the guy just spit it out when the Cyberman had to throw up.
He spilled the tea.
Right, is it someone's part 3 now? Top
Yes,
number-
it is
the third
my
one?
part 3. I've got
Yeah.
Genesis of the Daleks.
Well, that's my number 4.
Oh, this was bound to come
Yeah.
up.
We're gonna have nothing to talk about. No.
Yeah,
So-
this is.
Yeah, this was inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Remembrance, it's up there.
It's so good because we also get like the bit with the wires, and
Yeah.
it's what they've said canonically started the Time War.
Hmm.
Like they took it that far back.
I love the dark, the fact that they just straight up take things that happen in real war, like propping up dead bodies in the trenches,
Yeah,
and just
Yeah,
like
it's quite
exposing
grim in
Sarah
parts.
to all of that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, freaky.
And they kill Ronson. I was so upset.
yeah.
Neither.
Foul spy.
It's been a
Neither.
very long time since I watched the episode. I actually remember what happened.
After watching that, I do
Michael
remember
Wisher
walking
is the
around.
best Davros.
Yeah.
He's the best
Yeah.
Davros.
He's very good.
And then it's Julian Bleach. He's the new one.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then it's
Julian
Malloy.
Bleach is just brilliant. Yeah,
And then
think
Goodison
I
as well.
put Terry Malloy above all of them just because that's the one I've got a soft spot for. But
Does.
that scene where the doctor's asking, I think he's telling Davros about, imagine if you had the most powerful weapon in the world.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's like
And then he
saying,
starts ranting.
yeah, he's saying like, would you use that power? And you can see like the way, because obviously he's covered in prosthetics, he can't really act. The way he moves
Yeah.
his hand and stuff, and he's going, yeah, I would do it. And it's like, oh,
I
God.
would do it.
Yeah, Nida.
That power would set
This
him above the
episode-
gods.
Not
Love
got the
Nida
quotes
as
of-
well. He's such a bitch.
If you had, what would you call? This episode's got the quotes of what would you call the man who had the most powerful weapon in the world, most powerful man in the world, and then the bit that they later used in, which is familiar, is it?
Yeah,
Where it's a bit
yeah.
like, if someone pointed out a small child to you and said that boy would cause mass death and destruction, could you kill them?
Yeah, see,
Yeah, and it's Davros. It's little boy Davros.
I
Yeah,
hate that. I hate that it does a really good scene with that and like a metaphor for it. The whole like, would you kill that child? And then the modern series just goes, "Yeah, just do it, just show it." It's like, no, you're missing the point.
yeah.
Oh,
But I do absolutely love the, like, because it's such a close-up scene of Tom Baker just with the wires and his expressions and everything going, do I have the right to
Mm.
do this?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I could
And
stop
then
so
Sarah's
much
like,
death.
yeah,
Do
shut
I
up.
have the right?
And then
And,
he
like, you
doesn't
can
give a
tell-
shit about killing the Vervoids.
Yeah,
yeah.
but, like,
Just completely
that scene is
changes.
just so good because even though Sarah is of the opinion of you would be saving a lot of people, you can even tell she's quite a bit torn because it's just like these people haven't done anything yet. We could do something different here to change them, or does by killing them all here make it worse in the future?
Yeah.
It's just so good. More of this stuff.
Yeah. And just
I
it's,
only
it's almost like
one-
political meddling. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. My only one criticism is that it could have been 5 parts. But that was if I'd have to try and find something wrong with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd argue you can say that about all of them, though, can't you? They could be
Yeah.
a bit more streamlined, and well, nearly all of them.
Yeah, literally.
Because some of them do really work well, but most of
Yeah.
it is just a part too many.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that is all I have to say about that. So,
Wunderbar.
your next
What?
one, Harry.
Is Genesis on anyone else's list?
What,
Yeah,
Genesis?
it's number 2 for me.
It didn't make it to my list.
Because you're a little bitch.
No, another Dalek story has, and let me tell you, I'm already.
It's Into the Dalek.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Into the Dalek. Yeah.
Asylum of the Daleks.
Yes, one of your top 5
Right,
favorite
yeah.
classic stories, Into
Counts.
Dalek and Asylum
Special
of the
weapons
Daleks.
Daleks in it counts.
Yeah, Harry, you're number whatever we're on now. 3.
Well, we've lost him. We've lost connection.
Oh.
Oh, he's
no,
back.
Hello?
He's back.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm on. Hello. I'm on number 2 because I did Remembrance as 3. So you might not have heard of this one. Invisible Enemy. It's a Tom
what's
Baker.
it?
Its Contact Has Been Made. First K9 story.
Yes!
Yeah. That's a banger.
He shrinks
that-
down and goes inside
Into his
someone.
own brain. He goes into
Yes.
his own brain. It's amazing. It's just
Sounds like
a
a
load
riot.
of beautiful sets and beautiful design.
What season is it?
Well,
16.
It's
17?
series
Oh,
15.
15.
Yeah, the one before Keeps Time. It's got
Yeah.
Leela, it's introduction of K9. Really good villain. There is one slight letdown to it, which is the nucleus of the swarm prop is just like a big shrimp made out of fiberglass, and it
Yeah.
looks terrible.
Looking at
It
now,
is it is a top-notch
Oh, wow.
villain of the era and budget.
But the rest of it, like the set design is beautiful, and the story is so well paced, and it's just really good dialogue and like storytelling. And I also just grew up watching it. And the villain, the like whole thing where they have like fur on their face and they get taken over, and when they get taken over, they say contact has been made, and it's just like I don't know, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It sounds like a riot.
You guys
I'm
should
gonna put
definitely
that on my
watch it.
list.
It's one of it's like one of the most underrated stories.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on it because no one knows what the fuck it is. So.
I don't remember much of it. I just remember him having to be shrunk down and injected into his own brain, and
Yeah,
when you describe the episode, it sounds weird.
it is quite weird.
It looks
Yeah.
weird.
It's brilliantly weird.
Yeah, it is a good weird episode as opposed to some of the bad weird shite we have to sit through.
Yeah. Literally. Also, the model work is really good in it.
Yeah.
Like they've got really good model work.
I mostly just love it though because of K9.
K9's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's also got a lower pitch voice in this than he ever does in the rest of the series
Yeah.
because it's his first story. So
Is it John Leeson though?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
he
It's
also
lower.
did the voice of the nucleus in it, the main monster in that story.
Oh, I'll
Right,
add that
someone-
to the list.
Yeah, it's John Leeson for the rest of this series. Then I think it's someone else, and then it's back to John Leeson.
John Leeson for series 15 and 16, then this other guy for series 17, and then John Leeson came back for series 18.
You know,
yeah.
you know when you meet someone, you suddenly realise you're very underqualified for what you're doing.
Who is next?
It is Dan.
Shitting hell. So
Number 3.
Well, I'm on my last.
Ah.
Well, I can make it 3. I was about to, I was about to kick this one out.
Oh.
Because I remembered
What's
one
that?
that I really love that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Is that Revelation of the Daleks?
This is Revelation. But one that I like even more is Pyramids of Mars.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a banger.
It is. It's an
Sutek.
episode. So
The guy who did
fuck off,
Sutek
Revelation.
was
We won't talk about
this
you
guy-
today.
You know the Beast.
He does the voice. It's Gabriel
Yeah.
Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gabriel Wolf.
brilliant.
He is really
He's a
good in that.
he's a great voice artist.
Yeah. Pyramids of Mars. It's pure. It's Tom. It's Tom being Tom. It's like it feels like such a nice rounded thing because obviously there's they arrive with they arrive when it's been burnt down. Am I right in thinking? And then the end of the episode is them setting it on fire. So it basically the story creates like a loop. Am I thinking right? They arrive at the building, and then he mentions that it was rebuilt because it was set on fire or something like that. It burnt down, and then the end of the episode, you realise them leaving and destroying Sutek actually does destroy the building. That's what made it burn down. That's like it kind of loops around.
So.
Yeah, it's quite clever. It kind of
I can't remember.
ties itself up like that. But like the mummies are really creepy. They're like there's these massive
The way they
barrels of a chest and these really stiff arms.
and they like strangle people with their chests.
Yeah, I've got one on the
Yeah.
shelf because I just think that's one of the coolest things. And I just love the. God, what's his name?
Sutek.
Marcus is it called?
Oh, Marcus Scarman.
Oh my God, he's on fire. How do you remember these names? Yeah, he is.
Years
he's
of being
really cool.
weird.
But I think it's one of those like what was the one that I mentioned before? I think it was Inferno we were talking about where you're not. It's hard to get distracted by something else because there is always something happening. It doesn't really drag this one, and even something as boring as Sarah Jane hiding under under a fallen tree because there's mummies out to try and find her. It's somehow it's really
It's very tense.
Yeah, it's shot
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
well, and there's some great quotes as well. And this story gave us that incredible gif of Tom and Liz walking in, and then like behind the mummy, and then immediately going nope,
And then walking out.
turning around and
Yeah.
going out again.
Yeah.
It's the best. Yeah, that's
Tom
just a
and the
few
director
reasons.
had a massive argument
Did
on
they?
that one. That's why he's grumpy as in the part through the story
Wow,
because he is the director.
you know.
And also, Scarman, you know, Power of the Daleks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bragan in that is Scarman. Some little fact.
Oh, I've just noticed what you've put my name as on Discord, you twat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on. Pyramids of Mars. Wax
it's
lyrical.
also slightly referenced in one of the Sarah Jane adventures.
Is it?
Because, yeah, they stop a Mars rover from going, and the feed from it, and then as it goes over, there's some pyramids in the background of this Martian civilization,
Oh, yes.
and it's like, because this is also a Sarah Jane one, it's sort of like, did you know they were there, or is it just you were told they were there by Mr. Smith?
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd
That's
like
cool.
to think it's the same things, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's neat. Yeah, I think like I mentioned with the mummy suits and stuff like that, and Sutek himself doesn't actually look that bad.
No, they are
compared to a lot of the stuff.
terrifying
I
when
know
you
we were
stood
just
next
talking
to them
about
as well.
the shrimp from Invisible Enemy. You look
Yeah.
at some of the mummies and their big ship, and Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
on point.
I remember they had them at the Doctor Who experience, and they were quite intimidating to be stood
That
next
rings a
to.
bell,
They're
actually.
huge.
Now.
Yeah,
They're massive. I love it.
And the faces with just the two sort of like
Yeah,
planks.
they look like someone's kind of pressed in.
yeah.
They look like they're made out
Yeah.
of dough. In a scary way.
Scary.
Scary dough. The Muffin Man. Yeah, I really enjoy.
Muffin Man.
She's married to the Muffin Man. Yeah, I really enjoy
You
it.
know the Muffin Man.
From Drury Lane.
There isn't actually a Muffin Man on Drury Lane. Sorry. That just annoys me every time.
Right.
That's not after you killed him.
No, there isn't even a bakery on there, or anything you could class as a bakery.
No,
Well,
it's
you
great.
should set up a.
No,
We were just talking
the
about Shrek.
Pizza Hut.
Just wanted to quote Shrek.
Yeah, but I saw Shrek the
Right.
musical at the Theatre Royal Drury
Oh,
Lane,
I'm so
and they
sorry.
had that line, and then there wasn't a bakery on Drury Lane.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
So you weren't
Yeah.
concerned. You weren't concerned with how weird Shrek looks in that show. You were more concerned with that line.
Yeah,
Muffin.
I was more concerned by the dragon overhead because
Joe Shrek now.
I looked up during the interval, just like looking at the auditorium, and it's just like the dragon up there.
Another day.
That's gonna
in
be interesting.
Cameron's zany life.
Yeah, I like the show.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Pyramids of Mars.
Mr. Free Cheese Dan, your next one.
This is also my last one because 2 and 1 were Genesis of the Daleks and the Five Doctors. This is another Hartnell story.
What a shock!
Surprise.
It's the Romans.
Your favourite classic story of all time is the Romans.
No, my favourite is the Five Doctors, but this is the
Oh, yeah.
third one. It's just... It's,
Wibbly
I think
wobbly.
it's...
Timey-wimey. See you next week.
I really enjoy how much fun the first Doctor seems to be having in this episode. It's the first time he seems to transition from a grumpy old man who wants to get back to the ship to a mischief-loving lunatic who wants to cause just trouble wherever he goes.
And when you say transition, you literally mean like a PowerPoint transition. He actually does the vortex thing where you split into squares. It pans around and it reforms the next side. Looks brilliant.
Yeah, and it is. It's a really impressive shot for the 60s as well.
Vicky is brilliant in it as well,
Oh,
which is
Like,
rare
that's-
because
that-
Vicky's not the best.
Vicky's better than Susan. Vicky is like Susan, but good. This is what I wanted to say about Susan. I don't like her. I don't like Susan.
You don't say.
I've never said it before on this podcast. And then when I got to Vicky, it was like, oh, I don't hate this person. Oh, thank God. Because Vicky is like, it's like Susan, who doesn't make me want to kill myself.
They almost made her have the exact same like haircut and dress
Mhm.
sense as Susan, though, but she just went, if you want me to do that, just get Caroline Ford back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that she's from the future.
Yeah.
I like that she does stuff in the episodes and does all over and scream grandfather.
Does she lightly twist her
I
ankle
mean, she
in the
does
Yorkshire
scream.
Moors? I mean, the Wales.
Well, she doesn't scream.
I mean, the Death Zone.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun episode. I had fun with it. You should watch The Romans.
Watching
I
it
completely agree.
Yeah.
I've had it
I mean,
on hold
there is
for
a
It's a
bit
very
of-
good puzzle.
There's a bit of slavery in it, but it's all just shits and giggles in the end.
slaves and giggles, as they say.
Like, it's a nice fun reveal that the first Doctor he
Burnt down Rome.
also that he burnt down Rome just for fun.
Yeah, just for the funsy. He knew what he was
Um,
doing as well when he held his
Oh,
monocle.
fucking absolutely he did. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
what did I do?
Like, oh,
No!
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was now. Who was it? Someone I follow who made the joke that William Hartnell actually made that noise with every step, like a pigeon, like that. Oh boy! I think it was Chris Johnson. I think. But yeah,
Chris who?
Chris Johnson from. Oh god, he's done all sorts. CBBC, Five Who fans, Big Damn Cast. Give him a search. He does good Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
I'm Googling.
I don't think the Doctor's been back to Rome as
Oh,
well
him!
Yeah,
since
I liked
the
it,
story.
exactly.
And I think, again, they might reference it in Fires of Pompeii. And it's like, oh, why don't we go to Rome? And it's just like, well,
I think they do mention it in Fires of Pompeii.
yeah.
But yeah, I like that. There's kind of a reveal at the end where the Doctor, because you think like, oh no, he's got into trouble. He's been mistaken for this man. But you find out by the end, he knew what he was doing the whole time. He just wanted to have some mischief. He just
Yeah.
wanted to cause some trouble.
As soon as Susan leaves, he actually starts having fun.
Yes. Oh man, yeah, That's my
Susan,
number
bringing out
3.
the worst in everyone.
absolutely. Grandfather. Yeah, so that is the last one on my list because the others are covered. So I'm going to sit back and relax. And the chair.
The chair nearly just.
Don't sit
broke.
back that
That
far.
chair is broken.
The Roman extremis
Tell the land. Yeah.
to get the Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell the landlords that the chairs are broken though.
It's not
They'll
like you're
find out in
looking
their
for
own time.
chairs.
We are a little bit because all the other chairs are broken.
They
in the
walk
same way.
in.
You've got 2 chairs behind you,
They
Dan.
walk into the empty flat and they go, "Oh,
I don't work on the
Dan's
desk."
that annoying Dan's finally gone." Then I'll sit back in the chair and it'll break and flatten their eyes on the floor. Why I oughta?
Oh.
No, what you do, you just move that chair into one of your flatmates' rooms before you leave. So then their chair's broken, not yours.
So that was Dan with the Ramones.
The Ramones, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you silly. That's
it?
not what it's
'Cause
called.
it's not called that.
That's different to the episode.
I've just achieved comedy. Jesus
Well,
Christ,
this
is a
one
long
has
episode.
technically, but the Sea Devils,
Oh,
Hey.
mama.
because like
Banger.
the reasons Dan said earlier, I really enjoy it. It's a solid Doctor Who story. We get a new villain that I'm surprised Modern Who hasn't used yet.
Mm.
Come on, Chibnall,
It is
do
what it
your
is.
job. Bring back
Wait
the
there
Sea
a
Devils.
second.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, we're going to find out Harry's got a life-size devil in his toilet.
He's got a sea devil flashlight.
Literally in the toilet. It's life size, but it's only like half of it, so it's just like the bottom half's in the toilet.
Is it a sea devil flash? It's not a sea devil
Oh.
flashlight. It's a mask.
It's a Sea Devil.
That's
mask.
really cool. Looks like
Looks
a bit like
yeah.
my dog.
Me and
Oh my god.
I sculpted it with my mate.
How do you do this?
Who
stuff?
are you?
Anyway, just thought I'd get that
Yeah,
in because we're talking about Sea Devils.
Oh my
You
god.
should do like videos on this stuff. It is really interesting.
Yeah.
God, I sounded
Thank
so
you.
sarcastic then. I'm really sorry. That is just my voice.
Really
No.
interesting.
Yeah, you look
um,
really great today. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dan,
you
Dan,
already-
I really enjoy spending time with you, Dan. Yeah.
We sort of get the Third Doctor giving some like remorse because obviously the Sea Devils are related to the Silurians, and the last time he met them, they got blown up, and it's just like he's deliberately trying to stop that from happening, even though there are people coming in who are going, "No, we saw what they did to the Silurians. We want to do that again." And
we get the Master in Clangers.
yeah, Master watching
Yeah.
clangers, and then the sword fight.
With the slightly sped up scene halfway
Yes,
through.
is
Yeah.
that when he's on the table and he flips over? And
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
it's like,
hmm,
Yeah.
that seems like double the frame rate.
Yeah.
That is
But
funny.
that is just something I can imagine not being in the script, but then Roger Delgado and John Pertwee just finding these swords in the studio
I like
and just
to.
going,
Yeah, or I like to think that they started rolling. They were supposed to just do like 2 coordinated hits and then leave it, but they just kept going and they just kept filming it
Yeah.
until he's like getting sandwiches and I'm a bit hungry, don't you? Started
And they
damaging
just
camera
cut up
equipment.
throughout the day. Like someone did say cut eventually, but they just kept doing
If
it.
you listen closely, you can hear people going, "Cut, there's a real sword, stop. Stop it, John." I'd like another sandwich, my dear.
But yeah, it's just such a good story as well because we also get like the master dressed up in like a naval uniform, just walking through, just going, "Yes, good evening, good morning," and just hypnotizing everyone. He
And his
doesn't do that as much in the modern era, hypnotizing people.
No.
Just like that,
I
I
don't
am
think
the
he does.
master and you will
No, he
obey me.
doesn't. Even the War Master does.
Yeah.
Come on, Chibnall.
I liked when John Sim was wearing the mask in World Enough and Time because that was sort of hard back to Delgado
Yeah.
era.
And the goatee.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, the goatee.
Yeah. And
And that just that
I remember seeing
costume.
an interview where he deliberately said he wanted the goatee for this as a nod to it.
Yeah, but even like his costume kind of mirrors Delgado in like
His
a kind of
costume's
straight
so good in
jacket.
that episode.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I just really love Roger Delgado's master, and I think it works so well with John Pertwee's Doctor because they are such good friends in real life.
Yeah.
Like, Delgado's death was one of the reasons why John Pertwee decided to leave Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was meant to
And there
be
was
in
originally
Web of Fear,
The
and it was a
last-
completely different story, but he died out in Turkey whilst in a car crash whilst doing
There's a car
filming or
crash,
something. And
he was going to be the last
Yeah.
story.
yeah, and that was
And
also
then
meant to be
it
the
was gonna
Master's
be-
last
They were
story.
going to be brothers. Yeah, they were going to be brothers, and the Master would die saving the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they should still be related, the Doctor and the Master, but I could just be in a minority there.
Yeah, I
Even though the Doctor,
Yeah. I just don't feel like these two people can just have been friends and then bad guys, because it's like centuries long throughout time and their lives. You wouldn't do that for
Yeah.
someone you were just friends with.
I don't like them being brothers.
I
I'm glad
do.
It's, I'm
Well,
glad
we
it's
do,
never
Dan,
been.
so suck
Well,
it.
you fucking. Yeah.
I just think for this rivalry to his
audio
master,
just cut out from him.
Yeah. It was like it was censoring itself, but it was censoring everything but the
Yeah.
swear words. Shit. Hmm.
But yeah, that is my opinions on the Sea Devils.
Well, we didn't
It is-
ask for them, Cameron.
Yes, you did.
That's the whole point of this
That's the
video.
entire point, you pretentious
I'm sorry,
prick.
I didn't ask any of you to record this podcast with me. You just sort of turned up.
No,
Why-
technically,
no,
You
I
not
asked
thought
me
you
about
were
the
recording.
email proving it.
I was going to read out the script
You
for.
asked me.
Oh, that's true. I was going to read out the script
We've
for
got emails
all
proving
of Trial of a Time Lord. That's what my
Yeah.
evening was, but
Well,
it's not.
that's what I came here for, and you've not started it.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Zero
so
stars.
okay, part
Harry,
one, the
do you have
mysterious
any
planet.
more stories?
I have one more.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
drum roll,
Oh, we ready?
please. Can we have a drum roll?
Yes,
Oh no!
Roll. Come on, do it.
Oh,
Come on.
Oh, where am I? I think my drumsticks have been packed up.
I was really going to hope that for Harry's first of
Hey,
hopefully
there's
many
no match.
episodes with us, we could.
We all play drums there. Wow.
I just
we
don't
all play
drumsticks.
drums.
I've not played drums in years, but I had about 6 months of lessons in 2018.
Oh, very nice.
I say I play drums, but it's all folded up there.
Are you ready?
Ooh.
first story. Oh, Green Death.
Green Death.
Oh, I could have seen that
Yeah.
coming. Actually, I'm pretty sure you meant.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
Boo!
just shut up.
You integrated so well.
It's just a top class story from a top class era of Doctor Who.
Stop mentioning class.
Top class companion.
One of our top 5 class episodes.
Uh,
No. Oh Jesus! I only remember the one with the rock people, and that was terrible.
oh, so the first one.
Yeah,
Because that's the
I
only one I
stopped
watched.
watching.
The first one and the last one.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just good. The maggots are terrifying.
Mm.
Yeah.
The plot is brilliant. It's got one of my favourite scenes of all time in Doctor Who. Well, actually, two of my favourite scenes. My second favourite is where the Doctor's just waiting there at the end of the story after Joe's left, and he just sits in Bessie, like, not knowing what to do, just, like, depressed. And then he decides to drive off after, like, a minute of just sitting there. And it's so beautifully done and shot in, like, the darkness and the moonlight.
Can I just say, imagine if like on the Five Doctors, when they were shooting that, if the car stalls, like the whole take, he sat in the car, he does like the really emotional piece, and then he starts to set off after that big long take, and it just perfect.
And it's also got a bit with Stevens when he like turns good, and he like makes everything go into overload, and like the whole screen's like
that's the doorbell.
Filled with like crazy shit, and then it gets so intense, and then it just stops, and like it just goes to his face, and then you see a tear go down his face, and then the building explodes.
That's pretty
just
cool.
very beautifully done.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I've always had a soft spot for it.
It's
But
so good.
it's a good one. That
Very good companion departure as well. With Joe.
Environment.
oh
Yeah.
No, it's gone.
Well, that's it.
Is that everyone?
No.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
just
then.
me.
I've got
That's
one
really done.
more.
You got one
I've
more.
also got one more somehow.
Okay then. Do you
I'll go-
two want to?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're shit, where's it gone? Speaking of Pertwee,
Oh,
Spearhead
mother.
from Space.
Now I haven't seen this episode. However, do you remember the bits of the Pandorica that
Yeah.
came with figures that had
Uh-huh.
CDs on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of them was like an audiobook of the novelization of Spearhead from Space. So I've listened to that. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, what Dan said. Yeah, I don't know why I keep opening these up, hoping there'll be like something in it. My uncle's written like
John Pertwee was in it.
a few viewing notes for me for different ones when he's got me them. I'll see if there's anything interesting. He's just
got it on
he's
film.
just slagged it off. Sorry, Stephen, but he's just put, this is the third Doctor's first story. It comes directly before Doctor Who and the Silurians. You don't need to know much more than that. I disagree. I think this is a brilliant story.
No, it's really good.
I think it sets.
Got Channing.
You know how when we did top 5 New Who stories, and my favourite is the 11th Hour. Because
Yeah.
I think it's a great jumping on point for new people that isn't too dated. And it just slaps you across the face. It's like, this is the tone, this is where we're going with the show now. Are you coming or not?
Yeah.
And I think Spearhead from Space is basically, that's the equivalent from that era.
Yeah.
It's just really fun. The fact that the Doctor's out of action for quite a lot of it, which is quite a tradition now in New Who, unless it's 13, in which case she just wakes up and starts shouting exposition. But yeah, he gets Mad Lad steals a complete outfit, gets an
From a hospital. That's also become
after,
somewhat tradition.
after the wheelchair chase. After he's
Yeah.
in the wheelchair going downhill, getting shot at. Oh my god.
At one point, he just
It was
hugs his
all-
shoes
like,
as well.
Oh yeah, shoes.
It's the it's one of the only ones they shot on film, which is why you can get such a high quality version if you get the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
How it looks great. You get Liz
And that's
Shaw.
also why they shot it all on location, because it was on film.
Yeah. You get the car that he nicks that he then
It's
obviously likes.
He
and
then
loves
asks for Bessie.
Yeah. It's just a red version. Red
But it's
rose.
Red Bessie.
Yeah, red
Bessie.
Resi. And
Resi.
then
Red Sea.
what was the other bit? The museum scene, I think, is another bit like in Pyramids of Mars. Yeah, it's old
Yeah.
TV, but it can be really tense. And that whole
I
bit
remember
with the
that being
waxwork
really
museum,
tense,
it's great.
even in the audiobook.
I'd love a Halloween episode set in, because we've talked about it before. Maybe like if there was a way of doing Madame Two Swords or something, you can have loads of celebrity cameos. But I think that's the closest we'll get is that waxwork museum. It's always politicians
Yeah.
and stuff coming to life. Yeah, And I like the Welsh guy that looks a bit like a caricature on the phone to. Hello, is that the Daily Chronicle? I just love. He's just so weird.
Oh,
He's just
yeah,
the cleaner guy
been in
with the
so
comb
many
over. And
stories.
he
Yeah.
walks around like this, and he just like snoops around the hospital when he sees something. He's just. It's one of those where
He was.
they do it in that era a lot going forward. Is they introduce a side character, and then you actually really start to like them, even though they're really creepy. And then obviously you're not going to see him again. But
He was in The Green Death and in The Web of Fear.
all right, there we go.
In the He's the one who died. He's Joe's friend in
Right.
The Green Death.
Yeah, rings a bell. Yeah, I just think it's a great tone setter, and
Yeah.
it must have been so just to be a kid watching that, to see the show come on in colour, with like this new vibrant kind of, I guess, like a jump start is the best way of explaining it.
Yeah. And the
Um,
Doctor becomes like very physical from this point onwards because he does like the karate and stuff and just flipping people over.
Yeah. I mean, the only bad thing I can say about this one is the Nestine could look a bit better. Because I think
Yeah.
we do see parts of it, don't we? And it's just a tentacle that kind of grabs onto his nose.
But the Auton faces are very cool.
Those
Yeah.
are very cool. The warehouse-looking worker, yeah. Those are quite freaky. All the stuff with the guy on the farm who like just yells at his wife all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's loads of
who-
characters.
He's
It's
stolen
like
like a bit of the
It's
meat
like
meal.
Mr. Ollis in The Three
Yeah.
Doctors. They're obsessed with people like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, people who live on a farm and just treat their wife like shit and always
Yeah.
end up getting like killed or harmed by aliens. And they're just like, he's pulling all these weird faces throughout the whole thing. Like, eh?
Yeah.
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 And I did actually, I did actually hear someone have that as like a text alert. The sound the sphere makes. That like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a better one, yeah. Someone had that as like their like text alert or their ringtone, and I was like, "That's the Nestine sphere." Great story.
Liz is very good companion.
Yeah.
She's very underrated.
She is.
Yeah.
She's like the Donna of that kind of thing, where she can hold her own, and
But because she's ginger.
that too.
You racist.
Oh,
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
We've got you there.
I
We
feel
didn't
like
know you were one.
Liz never gets like the send off everyone else gets.
Yeah.
She just disappears between seasons.
They didn't even say goodbye. She just goes, and Katie Manning comes in.
it's because they wanted
Yeah.
someone to scream, didn't they? They wanted someone to ask questions and not to kind of rival the Doctor, but to need him.
Yeah, because she is also a scientist, but
Yeah. Would have loved one more series with Liz, or maybe just half a series.
Mm.
yeah.
And then we wouldn't have got Joe, who is brilliant as well.
Oh, she is
Yeah.
great. And he's really dismissive of her
Yeah.
at first when he's like, "No tea, thanks." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Need to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that Joe has been in Doctor Who for like 50 years now, though, is
Yeah.
I forgot about that until she turned up in the Masterful Big Finish story. Because that's 50 years of the Master, and I can believe that. And then it's just like, oh wait, yeah, Joe turned up in that story as well.
Mm.
She was in Sarah Jane Adventures as well, wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Mhm.
She came back.
She
Just-
had
She was great.
the guy who played Iron Fist as her grandson.
Oh, Finn Jones was in that,
Yes.
wasn't
Yeah, which means that character's name is Santiago Jones. Also,
he?
Yeah.
are you all following Katie Manning on Twitter? Because if you're not,
No.
No.
your mental health will improve massively. My God, she's
I
like
am,
the most
but
wholesome
don't go-
thing. Her,
Yeah.
I'll give you an idea. Her Twitter, like the display name, is something like "Katie Manning welcomes you."
I met her at a convention.
Yeah,
She was absolutely lovely.
mad as a box of frogs, I've heard,
But-
but really nice.
Yeah.
She also replies to all tweets. Like if you like mention her in a tweet, she'll reply to it.
That's lucky.
Also,
I
look at her
met
cover
her
photo.
at
Look
the
at her cover photo.
Edinburgh-
It's adorable.
Fringe years ago when she was doing a show up there that my mum knew the guy who wrote it. And she was brilliant. And the only thing I found weird was she would hold her wrist a lot. And like, apparently no one on the cast or crew knew why she just kept holding her wrist.
It's probably a stage.
I think she
fright
just
thing.
does it. like a nervous tick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be a stage fright thing. We all have like a
but
little.
it's like no one knew why she did it, and it's like you'd think she wouldn't have a nervous tick anymore, but yeah, but no.
You know, she's married to the guy who she went off with in Green Death,
Really?
Cliff
Yeah.
Jones. They're actually married.
Yes, because they appear as a married
They
couple
fell in
in
love.
the DVD trailer,
Yeah,
and it's just
because
so sweet.
they fell in love. Sorry.
Yeah. But yes, Katie Manning's mad as a box of frogs, but lovely as hell.
I'm looking at a Twitter feed
Yeah.
and I'm already feeling better.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. So yeah, that's mine. That's my number one.
Yeah, my last one I've got of my favourite stories is The Two Doctors.
What? This is I did not expect.
No,
I
yeah,
like
Oh.
But-
really enjoy The Two Doctors because it is basically like two of the most underrated Doctors from the classic era because
Yeah.
2 isn't looked upon as kindly as others, and 6 because they both have very similar traits of like they disguise their from being like a comedic character to being deadly serious at the drop of a hat, and it's just really nice to get them together.
It's a very interesting combination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I think I also really like it because it's a full-length Troughton story, and there aren't many of those.
In colour.
Yeah,
Is he the most recurring Doctor?
3 Doctors, 5 Doctors, 2 Doctors, possibly.
Yeah, it must
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Yeah.
How nice is that? That the one who's like nearly all of his stuff is missing, yet he's the one who's been
Yeah.
brought back so many times.
Might
What?
be a reason why.
What do you think of the season 6B theory? We've got to mention that, seeing as we're
Well, yeah, that
Oh,
is
with-
two Doctors.
where
Barry
it comes
Martin.
from because he's older and has Jamie, who had his memory wiped before the Doctor got sent on these. So he got given
I hate
given
it.
Jamie back. But I think I also really enjoy it because it's like Fraser Hines and Patrick Troughton just work so well together. And I actually want Fraser Hines to turn up in Modern Who at some point.
He gets a mention in Tooth and Claw, doesn't he?
Yes, the Doctor claims he's Jamie McCrimmon.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's when he meets Victoria, but
Oh, it's me, Jimmy McCrinnan. I had a sweet scale latte.
Dan.
Yeah.
and next week Dan won't be here because he'll have been shanked outside his
Oh, is
flat.
That's the sound of my flatmate coming to beat me up.
They'll get confused and they'll shank me as well. So thanks, Dan.
Yeah,
Through the
It-
internet.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy it because it's like quite wholesome as well. Like it's set in Spain, which I wasn't expecting when I went into it.
They just went abroad. Oh, I feel so bad for Colin there. He must have been sweating his balls off in that.
Yeah, and like the second Doctor gets like slightly transformed into this alien that just eats and eats and eats with like weird spots, horn things on his face. It's so weird, like so incredibly weird, but it's just so good because you get them all. I also feel sorry for Fraser Hines because woolen tartan kilts and things and his outfit is not lightweight, and they are in the middle of Spain in summer.
There's a nice breeze though, isn't
Yeah. I'd hope there's a nice breeze, otherwise he's not a true Scotsman apparently.
there?
But and the Sontarans trying to become like time travelers again by stealing the Doctor's DNA. It's just weird. Like everything about it I looked at and I thought, I don't think I'll enjoy it that much. And then I watched it and it's just so good.
Yeah, I've not got much memory of that one, but I do remember liking some of it, and then towards the end, kind of fizzling out.
Yeah.
I'll have to put that on the list and give it a go.
It does seem to like come to its conclusion quicker than normal, but it is still very good. And we get then
I
a
like-
generation of people creating fan theories about where certain things could appear because the Doctor has grey hair in this.
And he also has Tom Baker's TARDIS.
And that.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. It's like a completely different one. Oh.
Yeah. And also, he mentions things that happened in his last story.
Yes, he mentions things from War Games, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And do they also not mention that they've been sent there by the Gallifrey Council?
Yeah, he has.
Don't they
Even
mention
though-
Victoria
Even
as
though
well?
Troughton's supposed to be running
Yeah,
some Time Lords.
They say
Victoria's
she's off studying
in
or
a
something.
library or something.
Yeah, Victoria, yeah, she's gone, and he's doing a job for the Time Lords, even though Troughton was running from the Time Lords for his whole tenure.
Yeah.
So,
It's so strange and opens the doors to a lot of possibilities.
Doctor Who lore is
Like-
just one of the most baffling things.
The
Everything
other
is
day,
canon and nothing
I
is canon.
saw a 6B theory about the War Doctor being between Troughton and Free.
What?
What?
So we saw
Sure.
McGann regenerate into.
I just,
Yes, I
People
know.
just
I
didn't
just,
watch
I
Night
don't
of
like the
Doctor,
idea
did they?
of sticking another Doctor in between there.
Yeah, I don't like 6B either.
If they
because,
had to do it, it's where it should be. But I don't like the idea.
Well, in terms of the Fugitive Doctor,
because
the only one that makes sense to
we
me.
had-
Yeah, you're right. But the only one that makes sense to me is Pre-Heart. Also, that doesn't make sense. But also, 6B doesn't make sense.
The whole
So
show
who
doesn't
fucking
make
knows?
sense.
Yeah. That's why she's got to be the next Doctor.
But that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense either. Because she doesn't know what the sonic screwdriver is. And she's got an old TARDIS.
Maybe.
And she doesn't remember any of it happening.
Maybe it's not
Maybe
even
they're
the Doctor.
Just blame Chibnall.
And also, the Division stuff was like, in the Timeless
Maybe-
Child, it was like stuff that had happened before.
You know, all of this could be probably will just be solved if she is the next Doctor, and probably a throwaway line like, "Oh yeah, I must have just had my memory wiped by the something ray."
It's
Moving
not
on.
going to be satisfying.
It won't. I
Maybe
don't think they'll use her
it
again,
will
honestly.
end with the Timeless Child, with the Doctor forgetting it, and then remembering, like being set from the beginning with Ruth, and it will recur another load of regenerations, and they won't remember any of their previous history.
It's too much.
Cross
Yeah,
line.
but it sounds like Chibnall.
Yeah.
It does.
I've
All
all-
this.
Have we all done our number ones then?
We
Yep.
all. Yeah, 5 Doctors as well.
Yep.
You know?
Mine was Green Death.
So that is
exhausted.
everything. We had a few hiccups along the way, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Thank you,
good one.
Not Paul, for joining us.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
What do you
having
mean,
you on.
not Paul? I'm Paul. Oh, thank you. I've loved being on. It's been brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah,
We'll,
well, I'd love to have you on again if
it's
we
the
can.
first of
if
many,
with
hopefully.
someone
Yeah.
filling in.
Just
We'll,
let me know whenever I'm
yeah,
down
yeah.
all the time.
We'll have to get you. We'll just have to have all of us on them at some point.
Yeah.
and
Screw
do you
Paul
have,
saying that 4
anything-
people is enough.
get a randomizer up or something.
Do you have anything you want to plug to yourself,
Yes,
as you are the
plug
only
away,
listener?
plug away.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't really.
I like it.
There's enough.
No
just-
messing about.
Yeah, it's a good podcast. If yeah,
I disagree.
so just-
Carry
I
on.
mean, we all disagree with you there, I'm afraid, Harry. It's a,
You have legitimately listened to more of the podcast than me.
yeah, he never listens back to them.
I cannot stand listening to myself back. I want to
I've-
destroy everything.
I've
So
not
you've listened to
it.
more of this than me.
I have
I've
to
not
listen
listened
to
back
it.
to it in a while. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I'm going to have to relive
Quality
all
stuff.
of this, which is going to be quite fun, actually, tomorrow night, probably.
Uh,
What a treat.
well, see how it goes.
Yeah, right, I'll round out this episode then, if we've all said what we
Yeah.
want to say.
Okay.
Nothing else you want to plug?
My phone in.
Oh, cheeky.
Thanks for listening.
Oh,
Shobocast
and on that
On
bombshell.
Twitter and Instagram, you can email us,
And at
like
Gmail,
Harry did, and maybe you could
because
be
we've
on the
got to
show.
be on
You
Well,
email.
yeah, you simply have to be on email.
You simply have to be with Harry these days. Doctor Who. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye,
Bye.
Why are you making an
goodbye,
entry?
goodbye.
Why are you doing
love
the
you,
entry?
bye.
We have one.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you next time for Meglos. Or whatever it is.
Are we doing Meglos next time? Yeah, let's do
Cactus
Meglos next.
Doctor.
The muffin man.